10 at the half, but they won 42-21. They held Bear Lake 5 the whole second half.
You gotta get some help, Bear Lake.
I'm gonna go on 5 minutes early because I've been behind the last couple. I thought he was. I think we might have. I thought I heard somebody say he twisted an ankle or something and dropped it. Oh, okay.
He went to Paris for Thanksgiving.
Oh, and missed a couple.
So I'm wondering if maybe that was the issue.
Zoom in on Chris Staple for a second. Okay, we're good. Okay. National Lampoon, I think.
Is that this T-shirt?
Yeah.
Here we go. Staple has a Rebel rebound. Kendall turns and runs. She's not one to slow things down. Another perfect screen by Hatch, and this time it's Tingy with the finish on the left side.
Rich Rebel girls basketball is on.
Brown follows a screen inside right post. She missed the first shot, got her own board, and put it back up and in.
Coming off a second consecutive third place finish at state, the Rebels return for the 2019-2020 season, with sights taking it to the next level.
Walentine, left corner three, her third triple of the quarter.
Coach Cody Lundgren returns for his fifth season on the bench.
She gets the pass in the right corner, three-point shot off the back of the iron, just missed by inches, but Brown chases down the Rebel rebound.
And with the athletes, the experience, and the will to win, the Rebels are ready to run.
Staple drives and floats from the left baseline and hits it.
MyLocalRadio.com presents Rich Rebel Basketball on KADQ FM 98.3 Rebel Radio, with live streaming video at MyLocalRadio.com.
JC goes free throw line. Hatch pulls the trigger and knocks it down. Sydney Hatch with the bucket.
Ridge High School Hoops is presented by Evanston Regional Hospital, Plains Tire of Evanston, by Westar Printing and Rocky Mountain Sign, Cash Honda Yamaha in Logan, by Come On In of Casper, Auto Farm Chevrolet, the Bear Lake Convention and Visitor Bureau, The Store, and by MyLocalRadio.com.
Rebound, Rebels go the other way. Allie Walentine, perfect screen by Sydney Hatch. She just screened off the defense, and Allie finished on the left side with the drive.
And now, Rebel Roundball fans,
The Staple baseline jumper is good.
put on your lucky socks, set your seat to full recline, and get ready to cheer on the Rebels.
Hatch stuffs it. Sydney Hatch having a great couple of series.
As we head courtside to join the play-by-play voice of the Rebels, Ryan Steineckert.
Good evening and welcome, Rebel fans, to Rich High School basketball on KADQ FM 98.3 and MyLocalRadio.com. The Rebels come in at 3-0. The Bears from Bear Lake come in at 2-0. It's the Bear Lake rivalry, and one team will lose with a blemish. Will leave with a blemish on their record after tonight's matchup in the Bear Lake rivalry. It's white and blue, blue and white versus blue and white. We've got the pregame coming up, the pregame show, including the Christopher Staple family scene set when we return here on Rebel Radio and MyLocalRadio.com. Evanston Regional Hospital is an affiliate of the University of Utah Health. Our partnership builds on a long tradition of collaboration between Evanston Regional Hospital and University of Utah Health. Inside these doors, our dedicated staff is committed to being your caring partner in your healthcare journey. Whether you need an MRI or surgery, are expecting a new baby, or you're having a heart attack, Evanston Regional Hospital is here to help. Evanston Regional Hospital. Healing begins here. You're invited to come in and visit with the team at Cash Honda Yamaha in Cache Valley today. Our customers are our friends. If you haven't ever been in, stop in today. We'd love to get to know you. If you haven't been in for a while, stop in and let's get caught up. And if you were here yesterday, come back again soon. You always have an open invitation to visit the crew at Cache Honda Yamaha, where our customers are our friends, on US 91 between Logan and Smithfield. Welcome back to Rebel Basketball. We've got an exciting matchup for you tonight. You're just tuning in, the JV game. Heading to the fourth quarter, Rebels lead by 7. Rebel freshman team came from behind at the half and won big. Varsity coming up at 7 o'clock is the scheduled tip-off time. That may be pushed back just a little bit because this JV game going a little longer than expected. Let's take a look at today's matchup. Tonight's matchup on the scene set brought to you by the Christopher Staple family. Wishing the Rebels the best. Sunshine Staple and Shelley sitting across the way here at, oh, there they are. If you're watching online at mylocalradio.com, you get to see the beard and the Staples over there. Christopher Staple family scene set. The Bears come in, the visiting team, at 2-0 so far this season. And we'll talk more about offense and defense, but let's take a look first at what Rich did the last time out. A 56-30 win over the Westside Pirates here at Rich High School on Thursday night. And looking back at how the Rebels and Westside had matched up the previous couple of years, they'd had competitive, close games. And then you look at who Rich brought back and who Westside brought back, and I thought Thursday night would be, I thought Rich would win, but I thought it would be a 8 or 10-point victory. Well, let's see how correct I was. A 26-point Rebel win. McKenna Stacy led all scorers with 21 points. 10 different Rebels contributed, and Rich cruised. They led 33-14 at the half, and once again, as it was against Valley, the offense was flowing well. The defense shut the other team down, and Rich held Westside to just 4 points in the first and third quarters and 30 points overall. You're going to win a lot of games if you can hold your opponents to just 30 points. And you see what Rich is doing defensively overall this season. They've held 2 of their opponents to 30 points. The other scored 37, so nobody scored more than 37 points. Of course, that's a small sample size, 3 games so far this year, but Rich allowing just 32.3 points a game. As for Bear Lake, they've played maybe a little better competition. A 52-48 win over Grace to open the season on November 16th. And then the following Thursday, November 21st, the Bears beat Marsh Valley 48-39. Now, I don't know how much we can look into those scores other than to look at the fact that Bear Lake beat Grace by 4. Grace beat Westside pretty handily earlier this year. So on paper, it looks like things may be pretty even tonight between Rich and Bear Lake. Of course, matchups will play a big part of how things go. And do shots fall or do they not? As Rich misses a shot there and gets an offensive rebound in the JV game with Rich leading 26-19. Rich scoring 53 points a game, allowing 32. The Bears, on the other hand, scoring 50 and allowing 43. But as I mentioned, I think they've played a little bit better competition than the Rebels have. Now, the last time these teams met, Rich shot 34 free throws, hit 18 of them, and won in a close one, 55-52. The Rebels trailed by 4 at the end of the third quarter, and it was a part of the season where the Rebels were almost getting into a habit of falling behind during the third or second quarter and then battling from behind for the victory. And Rich did end up winning 55-52 in that game. Sydney Hatch had 10 points. McKenna Stacy had 25 points, 9 rebounds in the contest. That was on December 8th. The Rebels and Bears had met a week earlier, and the Bears won that matchup in Bear Lake 45-38. So the team split last year. Rebels had won 8 in a row in this series from 2012 through 2017, but more recently, or the last few years, it's been a lot more competitive. We'll tell you more about that on our Town of Laketown Ledger, the Laketown Ledger, a little later on in our pregame show. Last time out, of course, the Bears got the win. Last time out, we talked about for Rich, a 26-point win over the 2A Westside Pirates. That's your scene set, presented by the Christopher Staple family, wishing the Rebels the best. We're about 25 minutes away from the opening tip-off between the Rebels and the Bears. If you're tuned in online at mylocalradio.com, you're seeing the Rebel JV team taking on the Bear Lake Bears. 6.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and Rich has pushed out. It was 22-19, and Rich has scored 9 straight to push out to a 12-point lead, 31-19 on the Station on Main scoreboard. We'll keep an eye on this JV matchup. Let you know that in the freshman game, it was a similar story as Rich trailed 16-10 at the half and then outscored Bear Lake big time in the second half. Went on to win 42-21 in that ball game in the freshman game. Rebel JV with a lead, 6 minutes left to go. We'll continue on with our pregame show and be back with the Town and Country Realty Coaches Show right after this on the Wildlife and mylocalradio.com. In 4-H, we believe young people have the power and influence to improve the world around us. With hands-on learning and education programs, 4-H members pledge their head to clearer thinking, their heart to greater loyalty, their hands to larger service, and their health to better living. To learn more about 4-H in Rich County, stop by our office in the county building in Randolph or give us a call at 435-793-2435. 4-H, empowering young people with the skills to lead for a lifetime. Back on the Rebel pregame show. Tonight, the Rebels face the Bear Lake Bears in the Bear Lake rivalry. Last night, the Bears were down here at Rich High School for the boys' game, and Bear Lake left with a 50-29 victory. The Rebels shot just 22%, I think, in the game. The boys, 22% overall, and I think 11% from inside the arc. Just couldn't find the bottom of the net, I guess is how one way to phrase that. Tonight, the Rebel girls hope for a better outcome in this Bear Lake rivalry. We'll tell you more about, so we got the keys of the game brought to you by the Thompson Ranch. That's coming up in a little bit later in our pregame show. But first, the Rich County 4-H standout student. Rich County 4-H empowering young people with the skills to lead for a lifetime. With junior at Rich High School, Kennedy Eastman. Thanks so much for your time today, Kennedy.
Yeah, no problem.
How's your junior year going?
It's good. It's going by fast.
Is fast good?
Yeah, it's fun.
But you're enjoying it?
Yeah, I like my classes a lot.
Any specific classes you enjoy most?
I really like English. It's a lot of fun.
Is that something you've thought about going into, English?
Yes, sir. I want to be a high school English teacher, I think.
So you're on track. What do you like about English?
I get to talk a lot in English. I don't have to be quiet.
So you like English, you like to talk. Teaching English, you'd get to talk a lot, and you'd teach English.
Yeah, so it's best of both worlds.
Is that something does like direct objects and indirect objects and all the punctuation, does all that stuff come easy to you?
Yeah, it's always, you're either an English person or a math person. I'm definitely not a math person.
Well, that's cool. So do you know what it would take, like once you finish Rich High School, then what to become an English teacher?
You have to get your bachelor's degree in education and your associate's degree, and I'm on track with that with my associate's classes.
All right. Well, good. Good luck with that plan. I hope it goes well for you. Kennedy, what else? What are you involved with at Rich High School? Any activities or plays, sports, anything?
I'm in the musical, and I help with the stage crew and the extra, so I fill in the gaps.
So you'll be on stage some and behind the scenes some?
Yes, sir.
Do you like being on stage?
When I don't have to sing. I'll fill in the gaps.
You like to talk, just not sing?
Yeah, very different.
Do you sing in the car? Like if you're by yourself, a great song comes on the radio, or you get something on your iPhone or whatever?
Oh, yeah. If you turn the volume up, you sound just like Taylor Swift.
Do you know what extra roles you'll have, or will that be determined later?
I don't think he's decided quite yet.
Little Mermaid, is that a show you're looking forward to?
Yeah, I'm super excited.
Were you in the shows the last couple of years, Footloose, and was it Grease the year before that?
I wasn't in Footloose, but I helped with Beauty and the Beast my freshman year.
Okay, same deal with Beauty and the Beast. Did you have the same type of roles?
Yeah, I did.
Fun times. And with music, though, you just don't... give me a little bit more about why you don't like to sing in front of people. Do you enjoy music?
I like listening to my music, but I don't have the vocal range or any skill with music.
All right, I got you. Anything else that you enjoy doing or involved with?
In the winter, I'm a snowboard instructor in Cokeville, and that's a lot of fun. I really like that.
How did you get into snowboarding?
My parents started me when I was 7. They took me and they said, "You will learn," and so I learned.
Are there so I tried snowboarding once and I face planted a bunch of times. I said I'm going back to skis. Any tips that you might give an uncoordinated, unathletic, kind of older guy like me?
Just learn how to take the hits and roll out of them because, they're rough.
Did you took your fair share?
Oh, plenty.
Are you pretty good at snowboarding? Like, can you do some flips or anything?
I guess it's all relative on who you ask.
So, and is that something you enjoy doing, the snowboard instructing?
Yeah, I look forward to it a lot. I like watching the kids develop and get better and learn to love it as much as I do.
Is that what you tell them? Just take the hits, roll with it, and get back up and go?
Yeah, I've definitely said just learn how to do a somersault.
Do you apply that in life? That's a good lesson because you're going to fall down in life. You just roll with it and get back up and go.
Yeah, I got to roll with the punches.
Kennedy, anything else that we should know about you? Any talents, musical instruments, anything else you like to do?
Nope, that about covers it.
If somebody wanted a tasty hamburger, where should they go?
The Crawford Trough on Main Street.
You work there, in the summers or when?
Between Labor Day and January.
You're busy.
I try to be.
Kennedy, what's your favorite thing about being a Rich Rebel?
I like the community it provides and the support that I have from my classmates in the school.
Junior Kennedy Eastman at Rich High School. Thanks so much for your time, and good luck with the rest of your junior year.
Oh, thank you. It was my pleasure.
Thanks so much, Kennedy. That standout student interview has been brought to you by Rich County 4-H, empowering young people with the skills to lead for a lifetime. Things going a bit slowly here in the JV ball game, 31-21. Bear Lake started to put on a full court press, trying to battle back in. They've cut the deficit from 12 to 10. Rich takes a timeout with 4:05 left in the fourth quarter of this JV matchup. Again, the freshmen outscored Bear Lake 26-11 in the second half and won 42-21. And JV team on top by 10 with 4:05 remaining. We've got more of the pregame show coming up. We'll maybe give you a little bit of bonus JV coverage as well. But we'll move along and be back with our Town & Country Realty Coaches Show right after this on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com. Pam Cornea with Town & Country Realty in beautiful Bear Lake enthusiastically supports the Rich High Rebels.
After all, I raised 4 of them, from football, basketball, wrestling to volleyball. I supported them all. I bleed blue.
The Caribbean of the Rockies, Bear Lake, offers a variety of activities in every season. Pam would love to assist you in finding your own Bear Lake retreat. Call her today, 435-779-0012.
This is the Lady Rebel basketball coach, Cody Lundgren, and you're tuned in to the pregame show on Rebel Radio. Opening tip is less than 20 minutes away on KADQ FM 98.3 with live streaming video at MyLocalRadio.com.
Welcome to the Cody Lundgren Coaches Show, brought to you by Town & Country Realty, selling Bear Lake in Utah and Idaho. That's Pam Cornea at 435-779-0012. These two teams met twice last year. The Bears won in Bear Lake. The Rebels won here 55-52. We're back at Rich High School, and the Bears come in at 2-0. The Rebels at 3-0. An undefeated team will go down tonight. No one sees the game the way the coaches do, so we'll take a few minutes to visit with opposing coach Brenda Messerly, and then we'll talk to Rebel head man Cody Lundgren and get his thoughts on tonight's game. We'll be right back with more of Rich Rebel basketball on KDQ FM 98.3 with live streaming video online at MyLocalRadio.com.
If the idea of owning your own home in beautiful Bear Lake sounds like more than your finances can handle, visit the experts at Bear Lake Realty to learn how you can make it happen. Gary and Amber McKee at Bear Lake Realty can show you how to buy a home and rent it out, so it pays for itself while you enjoy it some of the time as well. And soon, you'll have your own place in the Caribbean of the Rockies. No one knows the market better, and no one else serves you better than Bear Lake Realty.
At beautiful Bear Lake, skiing, snowmobiling, sailing, and swimming are just some of the fun activities offered to recreationists. The Greater Bear Lake Valley offers prime hunting and fishing areas, whether it's trout fishing in the streams or ice fishing for Cisco on the lake, hunting deer, or seeking elk along the high mountain ridges. The scenic corner of Utah and Idaho offers outdoor recreation and historical interests away from crowds and high prices. Visit bearlake.org for more information.
Back at Rich High School, we're in the middle of the pregame show. Rebel girls hosting the Bear Lake Bears tonight, and a hot one in the JV game this fourth quarter with 3:09 left to go, and Rich leading 31-21. Bears working hard to try and come back in this one. We've got an interview with Bears head coach Brenda Messerly coming up in just a moment. But let's keep an eye on this inbound play. The Rebels force the jump ball, and that will go to Rich. That'll take us to our pregame interview with Coach Brenda Messerly, brought to you by Town & Country Realty, selling Bear Lake in Utah and Idaho. Give Pam a call today at 435-779-0012. With Brenda Messerly, head coach of the Bear Lake Bears. Coach, I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
How's your season going so far?
It's been going good. We're 2-0. We haven't played very many games, had a lot of time to practice, but we have quite a few coming up, a couple tournaments, and so we're excited to, see if we can put what we practice into a game situation for sure.
Haven't had a chance to watch you guys play yet, but if I look at scores and see, you beat Grace. They handled Westside pretty well. Rich handled Westside pretty well the other day, so it looks like on paper this might be a good game.
Yes, I think it's going to be very good. You guys have killer guards, strong forwards. Like, you're 1 through 5. Like, you beat us this summer, and so we know we're coming in for a battle, and we're excited to play.
It's fun to have this Bear Lake rivalry going on and have it be so competitive.
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely. I think that we live so close, our colors are similar, like all these kind of things. But I think the girls are friends, and so it doesn't have to be something that's contentious, but just something that's like very competitive, and it's fun to see.
Your team last year, you bring back most of the players from last year's team, right?
Yes, we do. We actually only lost one senior, so we were able to bring back 4 starters. So we're excited to see what we can put together this season for sure.
I know Chelsea Gunderson is tall inside. Do you have a good mix of, size and speed and all that kind of stuff?
I feel like we do. We really bring a lot to the table. Like Josie Kelty has the size, but she has a lot more speed. Haley Humphreys can score the basketball, and then we've got a lot of players in between that can do all the stuff that we need to, and it's been fun to coach them so far for sure.
You mentioned getting beat by Rich over the summer. Last year, I think, you guys split. You beat them at home, they beat you here.
We did, and it was a battle here. We ended up, I think you guys shot 34 free throws, and still, you beat us by 3, so it's, we got to be prepared to go deep on our bench and to be strong with the basketball, and we're excited to see what happens.
What is your team doing so well so far through those 2 wins this season that you want to continue to do?
I feel like our confidence bringing back girls that have experienced varsity basketball in close games has really helped us. I feel like we play with speed, and I feel like we rebound the ball really well. And if we can put those things together, we should be able to compete well tonight, hopefully.
With most small schools like Rich and Bear Lake, you see a lot of the same girls in basketball and volleyball. Does that transition, is there any kind of psychological thing where, Rich beat you guys in volleyball, now you're playing in basketball? Is that transfer over at all?
I don't know as far as competition between Rich, but I feel like the way our girls ended our volleyball season, like we were able to get to state, we were able to place 4th, we were able to experience some success that they hadn't had in a while, and I think that we can definitely build from that.
You're seeing that as a coach, the confidence carry over to basketball?
Definitely, for sure.
Coach, we talked about the team splitting last year, and thinking about what Rich did last year to beat you, what do you need to prevent them from doing those things tonight?
I think you got to start at the top. Stacy and Valentine are very good guards. Stacy loves to drive the basketball. We got to make sure and cut her off. Then we got to box her out because they both go to the basket hard after they shoot. We got to execute offensively, and then we got to protect backside rebound. And if we can do those things, I feel like we match up well.
Coach, is there anything else we should touch on?
I don't think so. We just really appreciate, the people of Rich County and the friendly nature that we come over here and we feel a warm welcome, and it means a lot to us. And I just want to tell you thank you for that for sure.
Brenda Messerly of the Bear Lake Bears, thanks for your time. Good luck tonight and the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Coach Messerly. Of note, Brenda Messerly, the coach of the Bear Lake girls basketball team, her husband, Ryan Messerly, the coach of the Bear Lake football team, which finished, I think, in the quarterfinals and beat Rich pretty handily back in August. 35-23, 108 left, 4th quarter in this JV matchup. Rebel freshmen won 42-21, and the JV team just a minute and 8 seconds away from holding on for victory against Bear Lake. The varsity action scheduled for 7 o'clock will be a little bit later than that, but we'll keep things going right here on the pregame show. These interviews with coaches, the Coaches Show, brought to you by Town and Country Realty, selling Bear Lake in Utah and Idaho. That's Pam Cornea at 435-779-0012. We've got the Town of Laketown Ledger and the Old Chicago Pizza in Logan pregame slice. That's coming up before too long as Bear Lake gets a prayer to go down. From the right baseline, Lydia Johnson hits. We'll keep it here for the final 30 seconds of this JV game and then move along in our pregame coverage. And hear from Coach Cody Lundgren in just a moment. It's that Ambria Lutz at the free throw line for Rich. On the floor, Taylor Cornea, Amanda Schultz, Mackenzie Smith, and Brittany Lamborn. Taylor McKee getting a breather as the game in hand. She's had a great game, scored some points. And that was a defensive effort tonight from both the freshmen and the JV. Pretty impressive. 21 points the freshman gave up. The JV is 28 seconds away from giving up just 26 points in the ball game. Lutz inbounds left corner. Taylor across the top to Schultz. Rebels just trying to run down the final 22 seconds of this ball game and hold on for the win. Tough defense, and there's a promising player right there from what I've seen in Elise Kelsey. She'll be a tough one to deal with for the Rebels for the next couple of years. She's just a sophomore. Smith out on the right wing, 8 seconds, 6 left to go. Now down to 5 as Lutz crosses over, dribbles, and gives to Schultz for the final horn. The Rebels win in the JV matchup 35-26 in a tightly contested battle. Rebels had a 12-point lead, but really never felt like they pulled away or won big. It was a tight, close game, and we'll see how the varsity game goes in just a few minutes. We'll move along in our Town and Country Realty Coaches Show. Hear from Coach Cody Lundgren in a moment. Back right after this on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com.
Meet the service and parts department staff at Auto Farm Chevrolet. We work on almost every type of vehicle, foreign and domestic. We also sell parts and accessories for almost all makes and models. Our staff is friendly and well trained, and we are here to serve you. Open Monday through Friday beginning at 7:30 a.m. We invite you to Auto Farm Chevrolet for all your parts and for all your service needs. 624 Front Street, Evanston. We're a community-driven dealer.
Established in 1870, Randolph, Utah is home. Home to the rich rebels, to hardy people of high character, and to values of dedication, honesty, hard work, education.
Meet the service and parts department staff at Auto Farm Chevrolet. We work on almost every type of vehicle, foreign and domestic. We also sell parts and accessories for almost all makes and models. Our staff is friendly and well trained, and we are here to serve you. Open Monday through Friday beginning at 7:30 a.m. We invite you to Auto Farm Chevrolet for all your parts and for all your service needs. 624 Front Street, Evanston. We're a community-driven dealer.
Established in 1870, Randolph, Utah is home. Home to the rich rebels, to hardy people of high character, and to values of dedication, honesty, hard work, education, and respect for self and others. Randolph is also home to friendly folks who love their families, their town, and their neighbors. Count yourself a neighbor whenever you visit Randolph, Utah. Mayor Lynn Weston and the Town Council of Randolph wish the rich rebels good luck and invite you to visit anytime.
When you're looking for one location that is centrally located in Wyoming to host a business meeting or corporate retreat, always consider the Come On In Hotel and Suites in Casper first. With meeting rooms and amenities that everyone can enjoy at the Come On In is the best place to host events. The rustic decor, fireplaces, jacuzzis, pool, and large indoor atrium will make your event memorable. Call today and find out the ways we can help make your event a success. Come On In Hotel and Suites in Casper. Call 307-472-6300.
Back on the pregame show. We're in the middle of the Town and Country Realty Coaches Show. Just under 10 minutes away from the opening tip-off. Teams are out on the court warming up and getting ready to roll. If you're interested in Ohio State and Wisconsin tonight, don't worry about it. Watch the Rebels. Wisconsin and Ohio State will still be playing when this game gets over here at Rich High School. So come on down, support the Lady Rebels in the Bear Lake rivalry. Tip-off about 9 minutes away on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com. We'll be right back to talk with Cody Lundgren.
Business cards are a powerful and inexpensive way to promote the goods and services you offer. You can design your own cards or have the professionals at West Star Printing design your business cards. Now with same-day and next-day turnaround on all business card printing, you don't have to wait. Get your business cards today. Professional quality, inexpensive prices, and quick turnaround. Visit West Star Printing, 243 7th Street in Evanston, across from the library. West Star Printing, 307-789-5202.
If you want your truck to really catch the eye, have the professionals at Plains Tire in Evanston install a custom lift kit with new tires and wheels. We've got a huge selection to choose from, so no matter what your style is, we've got the tires and wheels to make you smile. The way your truck looks reflects on you. Get the reflection you want with a lift kit, new tires, and wheels from Plains Tire in Evanston, the tire professionals. 157 Bear River Drive. Stop in today.
With Cody Lundgren of the Rich Rebel girls basketball team. Coach, a convincing win Thursday night over Westside.
Yeah, you know, the girls came out with a lot of energy and a lot of confidence, and they shared the ball, which I love seeing. It's fun coaching when you see the kids sharing the ball like that. So when they play like that, I love our chances to win any game.
Is that where you? I mean, is that execution at a high level for you in the offense, or are they doing like an extra pass? Is that just them improvising a little bit?
I think some of both. You know, all of our sets are designed to let them play. So, you know, they're starting to really be comfortable with each other and play together, which is fun to see. And I hope they just keep playing.
with what Westside brought back and what you brought back, I thought that would be a closer game, but you guys ran away with it.
Yeah, you know, it was fun to see the girls, and the girls were having fun all night too, you know, and that's what this game's about, Ryan, is having fun but working hard, and, you know, I was just proud of them.
Between Thursday and tonight's game with Bear Lake, did you have any team meeting or practice, or was Friday a day off?
Friday was a day off for them, so, you know, this season's a very long season, so it's good for them to have a day off every once in a while.
What do you know about Bear Lake and the team they bring down this year?
You know, they're very talented. They have multiple guards that are very skilled and handle the ball very well and shoot the ball very well, and then they have a couple post players that are very strong, and it's gonna be tough.
They bring back a lot of players. I mean, they're a similar team to you. A lot of returning starters, the returning varsity experience.
Yeah, yep. There are a lot of good girls that, you know, they like to play hard and play the game right, and it should be a great game tonight.
You've had some good battles with them over the last couple of years. They beat you at their place last year. You beat them here in, like I said, a good battle.
Yeah. It's, you know, I think both teams kind of match up really well together, you know, so just hopefully the ball goes in the hole for us tonight.
Makes you look like a good coach when it does that.
Exactly, it does, yep.
Just the eye test. I mean, you look at Bear Lake and you know Chelsea Gunnarsson has got the size. So what are some strengths that they have as a team?
You know, the Humphreys girl is a very good ball handler and very good shooter. The Lloyd girl, same thing. She handles the ball well and she shoots it well. They're tough on defense. They're very fast in the open court. So, you know, but I think we match up pretty well with them. So, you know, it's going to be a great game.
So far this season, Coach, you're scoring 54, 55 points a game. Defensively, though, it sticks out to me, allowing teams less than 30 points a game or right around 30.
Yeah, you know, the kids are trusting each other, and when we have certain schemes in to take things away, they're trusting the backside to do their job and take that away too. So it's fun to coach them when they're trusting each other like that, and you're seeing those things happen.
Anything else you want to touch on, Coach?
No, thanks for being here, Ryan.
Cody Lundgren of the Rich Rebels, thanks for your time and good luck with Bear Lake tonight.
Hey, thank you.
Thanks so much, Coach Lundgren. You're tuned in to the pregame coaches show, brought to you by Town & Country Realty, selling Bear Lake in Utah and Idaho. That's Pam Cornea at 435-779-0012. Stay tuned. We got the Town of Laketown Ledger, the Thompson Ranch keys of the game, Town of Woodruff starting lineups, and the Old Chicago Pizza pregame slice when we return on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com. When you enter the city limits of the town of Woodruff, the sign welcomes you to a place with the coldest temps and the warmest hearts. Settled in 1870, we celebrate the values of kindness, compassion, and friendliness, knowing a community's greatness may best be measured by the compassionate actions of its members. Mayor Scott Sabian, council members Millie Bradshaw, Raymond Franson, Kent Stewart, and Jason Peterson, with Secretary Lisa Bell, welcome you and say,
Go Red Rebels!
Is it time to stop wishing for your dream home in beautiful Bear Lake? If you're ready to make your dream a reality, Bear Lake Realty can help with residential and land listings, including vacation properties, timeshares, cabins, condos, beachfront, lake view, and more. Bear Lake Realty has what you're looking for. And with more than 30 years of real estate experience in the area, you know you're working with the best. Visit BearLakeRealty.com and come and enjoy the Caribbean of the Rockies with us.
Welcome back to the pregame show. Rich and Bear Lake in the Bear Lake rivalry tonight. A battle of north and south ends of the lake. And, of course, it's a border battle as well as Bear Lake, Idaho, Rich, Utah, Rich County. Let's move along in our pregame coverage and jump into the Laketown Ledger, brought to you by the Town of Laketown. Good luck, Rebels, from the Mayor and Town Council of Laketown, Mayor Burdette Weston. Council members Dallas Clark, Chris Hodges, Gary Ogilvie, and Delora White. The Rebels come into this one with a 3-0 record. The Bears at 2-0, and the last time these teams met was right here at Rich High School last year. Rich won 55-52, but they had lost at Bear Lake the previous matchup, 45-38 at Bear Lake. The year before, in 2017-18, the Bears swept 71-49 and 55-54 in overtime. Prior to that, the Rebels had won 8 in a row from 2012-13 to 2016-17. Some close matchups in 16-17, 49-42, but some not so close. The Rebels won by 15 and 14 points in the 2015-16 season. In 2014-15, they met just once, and Rich won by 23. But the last few matchups have been close, and after that 8-game winning streak, Bear Lake, for Rich, the Bears have won 3 of the last 4. But overall in the series, going back to 04-05, that's where my records go back to between Rich and Bear Lake. Rebels have the lead, 9 wins to 5 losses, and 5 wins for Bear Lake in that span. That's your Lake Town Ledger, brought to you by the town of Lake Town. Good luck to the Rebels from the mayor and town council. Moving along to our Lazy BT keys of the game. Good luck, Rebels, from the Lazy BT brand, Thompson Ranch. Number 1 is control the tempo. We've seen how well that's worked for Rich so far in again, a small sample size, 3 games this season. When Rich controls the tempo, they've won 62-30 and 56-30. I feel like they controlled the tempo better against Westside and Valley than they did against Bryce Valley. Now, they still beat Bryce Valley 42-37, but controlling the tempo certainly led to more points and for the Rebels and fewer points for their opponents. Number 2 is the battle of the boards. This is a Bear Lake team with some good size and some good physicality inside. And we saw in the JV game that almost cost the Rebels. A lot of offensive rebounds for the Bears helped keep them close in the JV game. The Rebels have to win the battle of the boards, and that starts with boxing out. Number 3, as always, well, not as always, but as often, is the golden rule. Treat that basketball like gold. The team that takes care of it generally is the team that wins the ball game, and so the Rebels have to treat that basketball like gold, take care of it, limit turnovers, and force some extra turnovers from Bear Lake. Those are your keys of the game, brought to you by Thompson Ranch. Good luck, Rebels, from the Lazy BT brand. And now your Old Chicago Pizza pregame slice. Old Chicago in Logan. They've got pizzas and more built from scratch, one delicious fresh ingredient at a time at 795 East, 1400 North in Logan. Next time you're in, stop at Old Chicago Pizza for a slice. And the Rebels and the Bears, a good crowd tonight. We got a bunch of Bears fans to our left and some to our right as well, mostly to our right. Rebels student section across the way. The band is out for tonight's game, so we'll have a great atmosphere here at Rich High School. A home game, second home game of the season for Rich. And again, the Bears come in at 2-0, the Rebels at 3-0. So one of these teams will leave with a blemish on its record after tonight's ball game. That's your Old Chicago Pizza and Tap Room Pizza pregame slice, brought to you by Old Chicago Pizza in Logan. Stay tuned. We've got the Town of Woodruff starting lineups when we return on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com.
This is Rich Rebel Senior Kendall Staple, and you're tuned into Rich High Hoops on Rebel Radio and MyLocalRadio.com.
Success is no accident. It comes from constant hard work, perseverance, sacrifice, and learning from failure. Lake Town Mayor Burdette Weston and council members Dallas Clark, Chris Hodges, Gary Ogilvie, and Delora White encourage the Rich High Rebels to continue to do whatever it takes to succeed in academics, activities, and athletics. The town council and citizens of Lake Town celebrate the success of all the students and staff in the Rich School District.
This presentation of Rich High School Athletics on MyLocalRadio.com is brought to you by these Rebel Sports Boosters, the Wilson Ranch in Randolph. Good luck, Rebels, from Dale, Kim, Kyler, and Casey. Remember, the harder you work, the more good luck you'll have. And by Argyle Ranch Saddle and Boot, Feed and Supply, a custom shop specializing in leather and wood goods, with a farm feed and supply store to boot. Proudly supporting the Rich Rebels, the Argyle Ranch Saddle and Boot, Feed and Supply Store.
National anthem here at Rich High as the Rebels and Bears get set to face off in the Bear Lake rivalry. It's time for your Town of Woodruff starting lineups, brought to you by Mayor Scott Sabie, council members Millie Bradshaw, Raymond Franson, Kent Stewart, and Jason Peterson, with Secretary Lisa Bell. And, of course, with the Bears being the visiting team, we'll start with their starters first. And they'll start a few seniors. Looks like I labeled Kalisha Parker as a 10. She's a sophomore. For you boys and girls at home, grade 10 is a sophomore, right? I could figure that out. Starters are 3 seniors, a junior and a sophomore. Number 4, Haley Humphreys, leading the team with 15.5 points per game. A senior, number 5, Josie Kelsey, also starts, and along with senior number 13, Jimmy Lloyd. Senior number 32, Chelsea Gunderson, averaging 7 points, 9 rebounds per game. And a sophomore, daughter of the volleyball coach, Wendy Parker, it's number 33, Kalisha Parker. Bears at 2-0, and they play in the 2A Southeast Idaho Conference. Rebel starters are junior and junior, McKenna Stacy, number 1, and junior number 2, Sage Tingy. And then seniors the rest of the way with number 5, Allie Wallentine, number 23, Eliana Brown, and number 32, Sydney Hatch. Rebels led by McKenna Stacy, 17 points, and she's got 5 rebounds a game. GC Cornea leads the team in boards at about 6.5 per contest. That's your starting lineups. Brought to you by the Town of Woodruff. Mayor Scott Sabie, council members Millie Bradshaw, Raymond Franson, Kent Stewart, and Jason Peterson, with Secretary Lisa Bell. Just about to get underway here at Rich High School. And it's time for your Sabie Trucking opening tip-off, brought to you by Scott and Diana Sabie. Want to thank Rob Leifson running camera tonight, Alyssa McDaniel back in the studio, and our camera provided by Bear Lake Realty. Sydney Hatch and Chelsea Gunderson for the tip. Gunderson wins it back to her teammates. Bears go quickly down inside. Parker turns, shoots, hits, and she's fouled. Kalisha Parker gets the scoring started quickly with a chance for a 3-point play. 2-0 Bears right off the bat. 7 seconds in, they win the opening tip and go down and score. Parker at the line, the sophomore, high arcing free throw shot missed. Gunderson tipped the ball away from Brown, but Ellie pulled it back in off the tip. 2-0 Bears lead on the Station on Main scoreboard. Wallentine around the top of the arc. 2-3 zone from the Bears. We saw their JV team run that 2-3 zone, I think, pretty much the entire game. Wallentine fires inside to Brown on the left block, or on the right block. Back outside, Stacy for 3. Rich is going to have to hit some of those outside shots to win tonight. Gunderson pulls down a board for the Bears, and they turn and run. Up across the timeline, Kelsey thinks about a 3, instead kicks it across right wing to Jimmy Lloyd. Down inside, Humphreys, they go to Gunderson, and she puts it up and in. No, that was Kalisha Parker again with 4 early points, and the Bears lead 4-0 on the Station on Main scoreboard. And now Bear Lake sets up in a half-court trap. Rebels with a long pass, and Sage Tingy fouled as she heads toward the hoop. Josie Kelsey picks up her first personal, the senior averaging about 8.5 per game. Kalisha Parker, Coach Messerly told me she scores about 7 in a game. She's already more than halfway there with 4 points early on here. 7:03 left in this first quarter. Sage Tingy to inbound on a Mound Valley Cattle Company, or a Crawford Trough and Randolph inbound play. Stacy goes strong to the hoop. A block by Parker, but also got the arm. And McKenna Stacy will go to the line and shoot 2. Parker picks up her first personal. And the Rebels have a chance to get on the board with a couple of Bear Lake Realty free throws. Stacy eyes the target, fires away, and hits the first free throw. I know she put in some extra time in the offseason and so far this season, shooting free throws. And at one point, 1 or 2 times, it hit, I think, 40 in a row or more. And some extra shooting time after practice. She hits 2 here. And the Rebels are on the board, trailing 4-2. Rich putting on some full court pressure, but the Bears break it. Josie Kelsey gives back to Lloyd. Whitney Lloyd, the only contributor last year that was a senior and graduated, not with the team this year, obviously. 3-point shot from the left wing. Humphreys can't get it to go. Bears pull down the offensive rebound. Shot from the right baseline is an air ball, and Ellie Brown pulls down her second board. Ellie Brown at the top of the key to Tingy on the left wing. Bears again in the 2-3 zone defense. Rebels will have to work it around, find the open spot, and then hit some shots from outside if they want to win tonight. Wallenstein tries to make that happen, and she does. A-Wall from the right wing swishes home the triple, and Rich leads 5-4. T7 Propane and Woodruff three-point shot. For all your propane needs, T7 Propane. Rich leads 5-4 with 6:05 left in the first quarter. Inside to Gunnarsson, camped in the lane, and she gets called for the 3 seconds. Would have been nice to have that official here last night with Briston Schreiber camped down inside. Bears turn it over for the first time tonight. He was called for it once, and that was it. Here's that half-court trap. This looks like a similar trap that the Bears boys run. Rebels go up ahead, and Brown has it poked away by Jimmy Lloyd out of bounds. Rebel basketball for a Crawford Trough and Randolph inbound play. Rich with a couple of free throws and a three-point shot. Inbound to Brown, back to Stacy, fakes the shot, right baseline. Jay from 12 foot misses off the front, and Parker with the Bear Lake rebound. Kalisha Parker has all 4 of the Bears' points so far in this first quarter. Pass over the top, and Parker fouled as Brown tried to tip it away and then got tied up. So Ellie will pick up her first personal. Rebels' second team foul. Parker looks to go inbounds, gets tipped away, and Brown comes up with it. Stacy tipped it, and the Rebels force a second turnover. We'll call that one a Rich County Government steal. Rich County Government Rebels with a championship cause. Wallenstein, dangerous pass, and Josie Kelsey claps her hands together in frustration with herself for not taking that pass away. Rebels from this near sideline right in front of the Bear Lake bench. Rebels attacking left to right at mylocalradio.com. Had Wallenstein open for a moment in the corner. Didn't get it to her, and instead goes to Stacy. McKenna around the top to the right wing, and A-Wall with it. Holding, skips it across. Stacy open 3, left corner. This one a bit long, off the iron, over the top, and Kelsey Skinner pulls down the rebound. Skinner just a freshman. Almost lost control, but held on and gives to Humphreys. High dribble by Humphreys. Keeps control and gives to Kelsey. Brown reaches around on a pass inside for Parker, and Ellie just picked up her second personal. That may send, Cornea was already at the scores table to check in. About midway through this first quarter, Rich leads 5-4. The Bears with the basketball. Parker looking in, bounces to Humphreys, easy 2. She got up in front of Sage Tingy, and an easy bucket puts the Bears on top by 1, 6-5 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Stacy inbound to Cornea, back to Stacy. Dangerous pass up into the middle. Humphreys takes it away, goes strong to the hoop, misses, but she's fouled. A blocking foul by Allie Wallenstein. Rich turns it over for the first time tonight. And there's that golden rule in action. Doesn't lead to direct points, but Haley Humphreys is at the line shooting 2, and A-Wall picks up her first personal foul. Humphreys' first free throw, left iron to the glass, back to the iron, rattles around and falls through. Free throws may be a key tonight. These two teams combined to shoot about 60 free throws the last time they met. Rich won 55-52. Chelsea Gunnarsson, a push. Well, most fans call that an over the back. And Gunnarsson picks up her first personal. Chelsea averages 9 rebounds a game so far through 2 games this season, fighting for what would have been her second. 7-5, Rebels trail by 2, inbound to Stacy. McKenna fakes a pass up court, gives instead to Wallenstein, back to McKenna. Long pass to a wide open J.C. Cornea for the easy 2, and the Rebels tie at 7 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Cornea was wide open, and Stacy found her for the assist. Top early candidate for the Rolling Kennedy at Auto Farm Chevrolet play of the game. Strong move to the hoop by Humphreys. Stacy plants her feet, draws the charge. And Humphreys picks up her first. There's another candidate. That one maybe for the precision play of the game, brought to you by Dr. McKay Frankham Dental Services in Evanston. Stacy again. This time the Bears have backed out of that half-court trap and just await in the 2-3 zone. Tingy on the right wing. Sage to Wallenstein, to Stacy in the left corner. Back to AWOL, left wing. Across the top, 3:45 left first quarter. Tie score, 7-7. Hatch down inside, ball ripped away from behind, and Josie Kelsey not happy about that whistle, but I think it was a foul from the other side before Kelsey got the basketball, and it is called against Chelsea Gunderson, I believe. No, she wasn't in there. Scores table is saying, who's it on? Oh, it's on Kelsey, and so understandably some frustration. She must have got Hatch on the arm as she went to grab that basketball. That's Kelsey's second personal foul. Crawford Trough and Randolph inbound play for the Rebels. Crawford Trough is open on Saturdays from 11 to 7. Wallenstein receives the inbound, drives the baseline, floats it up short, and Chelsea Gunderson pulls down the rebound. Rebels steal it from her in a collision between Stacy and Lloyd. Draws the whistle. And McKenna picks up her first personal. Rebels really hustling to get a ball that wasn't really loose, but Rich thought they had a chance to get it. 5 team fouls apiece already in this first quarter. We're going to see plenty of free throws, I think, in the second quarter, unless teams settle in a little better. 3.5 left in the first. Skinner at the top of the key. Rebels in a zone defense of their own. Looks like a 2-3. We'll have to figure that out for sure. I think it is. Gunderson to a cutting Parker, misses over the top, rebound tipped out. Skinner has it, goes inside, and Sydney Hatch steps in front for the Rich County government steal. Across the timeline goes McKenna Stacy. Rebels attacking left to right at mylocalradio.com. Fakes the shot, gives to Tingy left wing. 3 minutes left in the opening quarter. Stacy thinks about a three from the right corner, pass it up. Good decision there. She had a long defender in McKady Smith, the senior, out on her. This time Rich works it back around. Stacy for three. No, back iron. Long rebound, and Humphreys tips it forward to herself. Stacy gets in there on the defense, tried to keep her hands out of it, but gave enough contact with the body to pick up her second foul. Haley Humphreys hits the layup and draws the foul, and the Bears have a chance to go up by 3. Stacy also has to sit down with her second personal foul. 2:40 left in the first, and TJ checks into the ball game. Taylor McKee. 2:40 left to go in the first. The Bears lead 9-7, and Humphreys misses short. Front iron, offensive board. Parker makes the putback. Kalisha Parker with 6 first quarter points, and the Bears have pushed out to a 4-point lead. 2.5 left in the first. Wallenstein fires away. Back iron, no, but J.C. Cornea with the Rebel rebound. Offensive board. Tingy across the top of the arc to McKee. Bounce pass inside. Cornea gives to a cutting McKee on the right side, and Taylor backs it back out. Bounce pass from Tingy to get it inside to Cornea, but among the tall trees in there, JC just decided to pass it away. Tingy. Wallenstein across the top. TJ passes. It's tipped and went off. I thought it went off of Sage Tingy. So did some Bear Lake fans, but Kalisha Parker tipped it, and I thought it went off of old Lizard Fingers. But Tingy gets it back, inbounds, dishes off to Hatch, back to Tingy. 13-foot jumper from the right baseline, drops in, 11-9. Sage, I'm sorry. I know you said not to call you Lizard Fingers. We won't do it again. Right corner, long three, right wing. Humphreys misses, but Parker has the position, pulls down the rebound and puts it back up and in. Somebody got to put a body on Kalisha Parker. 8 points in the first quarter. She's almost scored as much as the Rebels have. Tingy sees a lane, drives up off the glass, too strong, but J.C. Cornea there for her second offensive rebound already of the game. Wallenstein around the top. Back to Tingy. Near the top of the key, again to Wallenstein. AWOL follows a screen, in, dishes off. Cornea, long two, left wing, got it. 11-13, hit the front iron and ease down through, and J.C. Cornea has 4. The Rebels within 2, 13-11 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Right corner. Bears go back outside. Jimmy Lloyd, J-Lo just misses back iron, and Tingy with the Rebel rebound. Sage pushes across the timeline, picks up the dribble, out to T. Taylor back outside to Tingy, and the Rebels reset with 30 seconds left in the first quarter. McKee looking inside. Hatch posted up, steps out of the box or out of the key. Tingy fakes a shot, then goes inside to Hatch. She turns, shoots, and a travel before she got the shot off. Little shuffle of her feet because of Gunderson's defense. Chelsea had a hand up in Hatch's face, and that forced Hatch to hesitate. And with that, her momentum just caused her to shuffle those feet for the travel. Good D by Gunderson inside. Lloyd dribbles to her right, tries to get by Wallenton, and then dishes off. And a whistle. Oh, foul on AWOL. I guess I figured that's probably what it would be, but she's blown away. She was just moving to her left, and Lloyd just kind of lowered the shoulder and pushed in. Most of the time, the offense will get the call against the defense in that kind of situation. 1-on-1 opportunity for J-Lo, and Jimmy hits the first. Lloyd with a second one coming. Wallenton checks out, and beast mode, Kendall Staple into the ball game with 13.3 seconds left in the first. And Bear Lake leading 14-11 with Jimmy Lloyd shooting a second free throw off the glass and in, but a lane violation by Lloyd herself. She stepped over the free throw line before the ball hit the rim. So the second free throw doesn't count. 14-11. Bears lead. McKee drives, gets inside, goes up strong, can't get the shot to go, but she's fouled. Drew a lot of contact. 2 or 3 Bears were in there, and Bears fans didn't like the call, but McKady Smith got a piece of not just the ball, but the arm. And Taylor McKee goes to the line to shoot 2. McKee, a sophomore, hits the first, back iron and down through. And we'll shoot one more. McKee's gotten to the line a fair amount this season. She's second on the team, no, third on the team in free throw attempts, and this one rattles and pops up, then back down through. Taylor, 11 of 12 from the free throw line so far this young season. Humphreys drives, and with time expiring, misses short on the layup. So at the end of one, Bear Lake leads 14-13 on the Station on Main scoreboard. First quarter in the books, second quarter coming up on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com.
It's human nature to think the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. That's not always true, especially when it comes to buying vehicles. This is Dennis Lynch, General Manager at Auto Farm Chevrolet. Dealerships pay the same price for new vehicles across America. The fact is, the best deals are right here, in your own backyard. The difference is that our employees are your neighbors, people you can trust. Please visit us first, Auto Farm Chevrolet. We are your community-driven dealer.
No matter what you need to have printed, Westar Printing is the place you want to have it done. Calendars, letterhead, envelopes, brochures, books, posters, vinyl banners, business forms, announcements, wedding invitations, and business cards are just a few examples. You can also have your favorite family photos printed on canvas or placed into a personalized family photo calendar. You will want to do business with Westar Printing. Stop in today. Westar Printing, 243 7th Street in Evanston.
Bear Lake off to a hot start offensively. The Rebels allow 32 points a game. Bear Lake almost halfway to that point through one quarter of play. Second quarter is presented by Stacy's Repair. Need a repair? Take it to the ones who truly care. Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. Staple, long pass, smart pass over the top. Humphreys had fronted Tingy out on the top of the key. Rebels bounce inside for Hatch, and boy, Kalisha Parker, a lot of contact to get around Hatch, force the jump ball, and give the ball to the Bears. Not a Mound Valley Cattle Company jump ball. I just heard a Bear Lake fan say should have been a reach it. I'd agree. 14-13 with 7:36 left in the second quarter. Lloyd looking inside. Rebels double teaming. They do get it finally to Gunderson. Double team comes. Throw a pass back outside. McKee tips it. It's on the floor. A scrum for it, and Cornea forces. This one will be a Mound Valley Cattle Company jump ball. Good hands by both Taylor McKee and J.C. Cornea on the hustle. So the Rebels give it away. The Bears give it right back. 2 jump balls on consecutive possessions. A 1-point ball game. Bears on top, 14-13. McKee across the timeline, getting some early minutes with McKenna Stacy and Allie Wallenton, 2 fouls apiece on the bench. Tingy to Staple, right side. McKee inside. Tingy dribbles once, shoots, blocked by Humphreys, but Hatch is there for the Rebel offensive rebound. Coach Lundgren comes to midcourt, calls out the play, and Tingy dribbles left. Corny at the top of the key, turns. Hatch finds a lane, or I'm having a hard time. Tingy drives, blocked by Gunderson, but Tingy gets her own rebound, puts it up and in. And the Rebels take a 15-14 lead. Right wing, Lloyd looking inside, finds Parker, turns and misses, too strong off the iron. It was the left side of the iron, back from her, the back side of the iron from her shooting angle. McKee into traffic, gives it away. Down in the lane, just got a little too many Bears around her. Left wing, Lloyd fakes the shot, drives, pulls up, and hits off the window. 5-footer from the left angle. Jimmy Lloyd with 3 points. Bears retake the lead, 16-15 on the Station on Main scoreboard here in the Stacey's Repair second quarter. McKee backs it out to the R in the center court. Gets the play call from Coach and gives to Tingy on the right wing. Sage picked up the dribble, gives a Staple. Kendall around the top, fires to McKee. Back to Staple, looks right, then goes to Tingy on the right wing. Sage drives, and she's tripped up by Kalisha Parker, a second personal foul. Tingy got a step on Parker, and she just got her with the body, tripped her up with the left leg. Puts Tingy at the line for a 1-and-1 opportunity. Sage has shot more free throws than anybody else on the team this year, shooting 63% coming into the game. And this will be her first free throw attempt of the ball game. Back iron and no. Gunderson and Kelsey both pull down the rebound. Kelsey drops it and lets Gunderson pull in her third board. Lloyd drives and floats, but she's fouled. Missed the shot high off the glass. The foul, Taylor McKee with her first. McKenna Stacy at the scorer's table to check in, as Lloyd lines up at the free throw stripe to shoot 2. First one rattles through. The Bears 3 of 7 from the free throw line. Rebels 4 of 5 with Tingy's miss moments ago. 17-15, Lloyd looks to make it a 3-point game. Does not. Back iron, and Cornea has the rebound. Rips it away from Kalisha Parker. Smart move there by Cornea. She had position and just pulled Parker into a position to draw the foul. And that's Parker's third personal. She's the leading scorer for this Bears team so far tonight and has to head for the bench as J.C. Cornea heads to the free throw line to shoot 1-and-1. Cornea this season, where's she at? 2 of 6 from the free throw line. She's a bit streaky at times, and we'll see what she does. Hits the first, front iron and eases down through. So Cornea can tie it with this second Bear Lake Realty free throw. Bear Lake Realty, highest volume and most experienced realtor in the Bear Lake Valley. Visit bearlakerealty.com. Cornea with 4 or 5, make it 6 points. Back iron and down through. Hits both free throws, and Coach Brenda Messerly calls a timeout with the score knotted up at 17 on the Wildlife and mylocalradio.com.
You rely on your vehicle every day. Make sure your ride gets the best service, repairs, and maintenance possible. Stacy's Repair in Woodruff provides the highest quality, the latest technology, and the newest equipment to give your vehicle the absolute best auto care available. Family owned and operated since 1992, your friends at Stacy's Repair promise to always deliver value and outstanding, honest, and knowledgeable service, regardless of repair size or difficulty. Stacy's Repair, the ones who truly care.
Balanced effort from both teams so far. The Rebels, J.C. Cornea leads with 6 points. 1, 2, 3, 4 others have scored. Kalisha Parker, 8 points for the Bears, but she's on the bench with 3 fouls. 5:35 left first half. Our second quarter presented by Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. Need a repair? Take it to the ones who truly care. Stacy's Repair. Humphreys across the timeline with the left-handed dribble. Rebels in a 2-3 zone defense. We've seen the Bears pull down a handful of offensive rebounds already. Kelsey drives, shoots, and is fouled. And something you often get with a zone defense is a little bit tougher time finding, okay, who am I going to box out when a shot goes up? In a man-to-man, you turn and box your man out. In a zone, you've got to find who you're going to block or box out and then get a body on him. First free throw, back iron and down through for Josie Kelsey. Coach Messerly says she's averaging 8.5 per game. That's her first point tonight. Bears back on top, 18-17, 5:23 left in the Stacey's Repair second quarter. Stacey back into the ball game as Kelsey misses the free throw. Cornea tips it. Lloyd tipped it away from her and out of bounds. Team rebound to the Rebels. Lloyd says, no, Bear Lake ball. The official says, yep, indeed. I mean, I'm a lot further away from him or from the ball than he is, but Cornea had a hand on it. It looked like Lloyd tipped it out of her hand. Humphreys, long three. No, back iron out to the left side, and the Rebels just keep Gunderson from getting to it in time. Rebel ball. 18-17, Bears on top by 1. Bear Lake employing what looks like a 2-2 half court or full court, three-quarter court trap. Stacey gives to McKee, back to McKenna. Looks deep, nothing there to Taylor. Again to Stacey, long cross-court pass to Wallenstein. She looks back door, finds Hatch. Shot blocked by Gunderson on the floor, and Lloyd scoops it up. No, that was Skinner scooping it up and dishing off. Humphreys goes coast to coast and lays it in. Rebels push back the other way. McKenna through the lane, ball stripped away, out of bounds off of Rich. That was interesting because her arms stopped going up. The ball flipped out, and usually physics would indicate that the arm was hit if it stops and the ball keeps going. 4:41 left to go in the Stacey's Repair second quarter. Humphreys tries to find a lane, loses it, but Kelsey picks it up, turns and shoots, misses, and an over the back or a push on Jimmy Lloyd, reaching through to try to take a rebound away from Rich. That was one of our Thompson Ranch keys of the game, was for Rich to get those rebounds, win the battle of the boards. Not sure if they're winning at this point, but it's close, and plays like that help you win that battle. And that's Taylor McKee, who had position on Jimmy Lloyd. And Taylor goes to the line to shoot 1 and 1. 14-11, Rich winning the battle of the boards, losing by 3 points. But McKee at the line swishes the first one through. Taylor Jade, is that the middle name? TJ at the line, hits the first. She's got one more coming at the Bear Lake Realty free throw line. And can't quite get that one to go. Gunderson the rebound, her 5th already. 5th indeed. Lloyd left wing, Humphreys inside to Gunderson. Chelsea one dribble, turns and misses too strong off the window. Offensive board for the Bears, Jimmy Lloyd. She goes back outside. Skinner fires from deep and misses short. Rebound long out to the Rebel band. And it's Rich basketball. Stacey checks back in. Coach Lundgren pulled her out for a moment, I think trying to get her in offense-defense to avoid a third personal foul. She's already got 2. Wallenstein also just checked back in for offense. Stacey to McKee. Taylor sees a lane, takes it down the sideline, all the way near the paint, then backs it out. And the Rebels set up in the offense in the half court. Bears lead by 2, 20-18, halfway through the Stacey's Repair in Woodruff second quarter. Wallenstein across the top to McKee. Oh, Cornea wide open underneath, but she's better get out of the key. She does just in time as Stacey goes strong to the hoop, finishes, and she's fouled by Chelsea Gunderson, who picks up her second. And Cornea got out of the lane just in time. I was counting in my head. And Stacey goes to the line for the chance at a three-point play and a candidate for the precision play of the game, brought to you by Dr. McKay Frankham Dental Services at reasonable rates for the whole family. Stacey at the line, can't get it off the back iron. Rebound tipped out, and the Bears have it. Jimmy Lloyd with the board. So the Rebels have to settle for a tie score at 20 with 3:40 left in the Stacey's Repair second quarter. Gunderson goes strong to the hoop. McKee tried to get in position, had her hands straight up, but the foul with the body. So McKee picks up her second. That's a Rebel 10th team foul, and Gunderson goes to the line to shoot 2. First one, back iron and down through. That's her first point of the game, but she's got 5 rebounds. Came in averaging 9 rebounds per game, and Well, she's on her way to double digits with still 3.5 left in the Stacy's Repair second quarter. Gunderson's second free throw, back iron, no. And the rebound long and into the hands of McKady Smith, but she loses her balance, goes down to the ground for the travel. The official, or the scores table, accidentally gave a point to Rich on that free throw made by Chelsea Gunderson. So for now, the Station on Main scoreboard off by a point. McKee to Stacy against the half-court trap. Long pass ahead, and Brown across the lane to Cornea, who misses as the pressure came in tight on her. Josie Kelsey with the rebound for the Bears. Up top, Humphreys for three. Rims in and out, and J.C. Cornea with the Rebel rebound. 3:09 left in the first half. Stacy tries to drive back outside. McKee dishes across left corner. Walentine for three. Swishes it through. The triple brought to you by T7 Propane in Woodruff. Walentine's second of the night. Puts the Rebels up 23-21. Inside, good backdoor pass and a finish for McKady Smith with the two. Ties the score at 23. McKee on the right wing. 2-3 zone defense by the Bears. McKee up across to Walentine. Stacy on the left wing. Thought about a three, then thought about driving, and then kicked it back to Awal. 2.5 left in the Stacy's Repair second quarter, and the Rebels and Bears tied up at 23. McKee backs it out, dribbles left, and gives to Walentine. Stacy kicks out to the corner. Thought about the three, tries to drive, can't get anywhere, and kicks it back up top. McKee goes underneath. Stacy turns, shoots too strong over the top, and into the hands of McKady Smith. Jimmy Lloyd pulls up from three-point range and misses, and Ellie Brown with a strong, rich Rebel rebound, her third of the game. Maybe second. Awal up ahead, gives it back to McKee with under 2 minutes to go in the first half. Walentine open, left wing three. Boom! She got it! Awal's third triple of the ball game, presented by T7 Propane in Woodruff, 26-23. Walentine with two in the quarter. Two triples in the quarter, 9 points in the game. At the free throw line, Eliza Sharp back outside to Lloyd. Rebels have switched to a man-to-man defense. Maybe. We'll see if they continue with this man-to-man. At the free throw line, missing short, Eliza Sharp. A fight for the board, and Walentine from her backside gives it up to J.C. Cornea. Ahead to Stacy. McKenna Euro steps through the lane, scoops it up and in off the window, and the Rebels have pushed out to a 5-point, 28-23 lead. Another candidate for the play of the game, brought to you by Rolene Kennedy Auto Farm Chevrolet, a community-driven dealer. Rebels switching, and Lloyd dribbles it off her foot to the back court, and they call Stacy for a blocking foul. McKenna picks up her third. Costly extra defensive pressure that far from the basket. Free throws for Jimmy Lloyd. We're well into the double bonus, so Lloyd gets two and misses the first. Lloyd tonight, 1, 2, 3, 4, just 2 of 5 from the line. A second one coming. In each of her first two trips, she made one, missed one. I would expect her to make this second one. Actually, her first trip, she made the first, made the second, but had a lane violation. She misses this back iron, and J.C. Cornea with a Rebel rebound, her fourth. So the score remains 28-23, Rebels up by 5. Her fifth rebound for J.C. Cornea. Make sure we get all of her rebounds put down there. Stacy not on the floor with her third foul. Staple to McKee. Looks up top, ball tipped away by Skinner, but Brown able to hustle back and get it. Staple with it, dribbles to her left, gets away from pressure to Cornea on the left wing. Tingy turns, looks to go to the hoop, and picks up the dribble, shuffles the foot. She couldn't stop in time, drug that pivot foot, and Rich turns it over for a third time in this Stacy's Repair scoreboard. Or Stacy's Repair, used to be the Stacy's Repair scoreboard. It's the Stacy's Repair second quarter on the Station on Main scoreboard. Humphreys across the timeline with 17 seconds in the first. Dribbles to her left, looking for a lane, lobs it underneath, and Cornea from the backside tips it away from Eliza Sharp, but also got a little bit too much contact on Sharp, and Eliza will go to the line and shoot two. And J.C. Cornea picks up, is that just her first foul? Wow, Cornea playing well. 6 points, 5 boards, 1 foul. Free throw short off the front iron. Sharp, the junior, will shoot one more. She does a little jump shot from the free throw line, misses the second as well. Brown got the rebound but came down funny, lost the ball. It's picked up by the Bears. The shot tips around. No, Lloyd shoots, air ball. A Sharp back outside, three-point shot, rims out, but it was after the buzzer anyway by Skinner. And at the end of quarter number 2, Rich leads 28-23. The Rebels outscored the Bears 15-9 in that second quarter. Brought to you by Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. Need a repair? Take it to the ones who truly care. Stacy's Repair. Back with our halftime show, including some Town of Randolph first half highlights when we return on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com.
Folks have many reasons to visit Casper, Wyoming every year, whether it's work, high school sports and activities, a romantic getaway, or business meetings. The best place to stay when you're in Casper is the Come On In Hotel and Suites. A beautiful log hotel offers 5 hot tubs, a pool, fitness center, and a fabulous indoor atrium. You can also reserve meeting rooms for your next event, and each stay includes an extended continental breakfast. Reserve your rooms today at the Come On In Hotel and Suites in Casper, Wyoming. Call 307-472-6300.
Early Oregon-bound immigrants traveled through the Bear Lake Valley. U.S. Highway 30 basically follows the Oregon Trail. Many wagon trains stopped at Thomas L. Pegleg Smith Trading Post, located near Dingle, Idaho, for supplies. One traveler wrote of camping along Cotton Line Bear River, watching grass as tall as a man wave in the wind. Today, you don't have to ride in a wagon to visit Bear Lake Valley, but the rich history is still here to enjoy. Visit bearlake.org for more information.
The best live coverage of local sports, weather, local news, and radio classifieds. Plus job listings, fun giveaways, and more. It's all on mylocalradio.com. Watch live as your high school teams clash with their biggest rivals. Listen to the latest from your team's coaches, catch up on local and regional news, and get accurate weather conditions and forecasts. Visit mylocalradio.com, like us on Facebook, and stream it all now.
Whether you're kicking up dust in the hills, making waves down on the lake, or taking advantage of the world's greatest powder, don't just hope to have fun. Take that sled by the handlebars and make your time at Bear Lake epic. Epic Recreation rents equipment and cabins for your vacation fun at beautiful Bear Lake. From watercraft large and small to UTVs, sleds, and more, Epic Recreation has it all to go on-road, off-road, or out on the Caribbean blue water. Book your adventure at epicrecreation.net.
More than 1,300 rural hospitals were evaluated, and for the 3rd year in a row, Bear Lake Memorial Hospital placed in the top 100 for quality as well as best practices and critical access, with a 24-hour emergency department, orthopedics, home health, a residential nursing home, physical therapy, surgical services, family doctors, chemotherapy, dialysis, and more. So, when it comes to your health, make sure you're seen by the best. Bear Lake Memorial Hospital in Montpelier, Idaho. Count on us to care.
Serving Wyoming since 1941, Plains Tire is Wyoming's oldest and largest tire dealer with great locations throughout the state. They'll get you the right tires that offer the best results for your vehicle at the lowest prices, guaranteed. Plus, you can go to any Plains Tire Pro dealer with their nationwide warranty service. And check out their Plains Tire phone app.
Come down and see us at Plains Tires on 157 Bear River Drive for all your automotive needs. Hablamos también español.
At the half, 28-23. Rebels with the 5-point lead. They trailed by 1 to start the second quarter, but Rich outscored Bear Lake Bears 15-9 in the second. A big part of that was 2 Allie Wallenstein 3-pointers and McKenna Stacy's 2 buckets as well. And Rich shooting better from the free throw line, 70% compared to Bear Lake's 31% from the line. We'll tell you more about it on the Town of Randolph first half highlights when we return on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com.
Established in 1870, Randolph, Utah is home. Home to the rich rebels, to hardy people of high character, and to values of dedication, honesty, hard work, education, and respect for self and others. Randolph is also home to friendly folks who love their families, their town, and their neighbors. Count yourself a neighbor whenever you visit Randolph, Utah. Mayor Lynn Weston and the Town Council of Randolph wish the Rich Rebels good luck and invite you to visit anytime.
Super kids deserve super care. Experience the difference with board-certified pediatricians Alan Brown, MD, and Bird Gilmartin, MD, at Uinta Medical Group. Whether it's tracking your child's overall health at Well Child Checks or helping your little ones feel better when they're sick, Dr. Brown and Dr. Gilmartin are here to help your child grow, learn, and thrive. Schedule an appointment with Dr. Brown or Dr. Gilmartin by calling 307-789-WELL 9355 or visit evanstonanytime.com.
28-23 at the half on the Station on Main scoreboard. Rebels leading the Bear Lake Bears. Last night, the Bears boys basketball team led Rich, what was it at the half? 28-14, and they went on to win 50-29 here at Rich High School. The Rebel girls looking for a little payback after last night's boys loss. And so far on the offensive glass, it's been a definite advantage for Bear Lake. They out-rebounded Rich 9-4. On the offensive end, that gave him a couple of extra shots from down inside two-point range. But overall, Rich shooting just a bit better, 43% from the floor to Bear Lake's 41. And a big difference, now it hasn't been a big difference in point total, but a big difference in percentage at the free throw line. Rebels 7 of 10, that's easy, 70%. The Bears 5 of 16, that's 31%. If they're shooting even, say, 60%, on 16 free throws, the score it would be tied instead of Rich leading by 5. So those free throws already showing to be fairly critical through the early going. And the fouls have been critical as well. Rich with three different players in with 2 fouls, and then McKenna Stacy has 3. The Bears in a similar situation with 3 players with 2 personal fouls, and Kalisha Parker with 3 personal fouls. Parker scored, remember, 8 of the Bears' 14 first-quarter points, but we hardly saw her in the second quarter because she was in foul trouble. So the fouls have kind of neutralized one of the leading scorers of each team, including McKenna Stacy, who is averaging 18.5 points coming into this game, scored just 6 in that first half because of limited action. Partly because of limited action and because of being in foul trouble, but also I know Coach Brenda Messerly, some of the focus this week for her team in preparing for Rich and even thinking about just, hey, guys, watch out. McKenna Stacy is going to lead the team in scoring. But so far it's been Allie Wallenstein with 9 points. Kalisha Parker, 8 for Bear Lake. Haley Humphreys with 7. And then for Rich, it's Wallenstein with 9, McKenna Stacy and J.C. Cornea with 6 points apiece. And Sage Tingy has 4, Taylor McKee with 3. Rounded out for the Bear Lake Bears, I mentioned Parker's 8, Humphreys 7. Lloyd has 4, McKady Smith 2, and Josie Kelsey and Chelsea Gunnarsson with 1 point apiece. 28-23, let's do a real quick Bear Lake Realty fan cam. Our camera is presented by Bear Lake Realty, the highest volume and most experienced realtor in the Bear Lake area. And you see the Rebels coming out of the locker room as they had a quick chat with Coach Lundgren there, and we'll see what kind of adjustments they make coming out into the second half. Bears will surely make some adjustments as well. Bear Lake Realty, Gary McKee in Garden City. Give him a call at 435-946-8888. If you or a family member, maybe somebody you know, looking for a place to buy in the Bear Lake area, work with the best, Gary McKee in Garden City. And you can give him a call at that number there, 435-946-8888, or call bearlakerealty.com. All right, let's take one more quick break. We'll be back with second half action. These first half highlights have been presented by the Town of Randolph, Mayor Lynn Weston, Board Member Sim Bell, Brian Wires, Larry Kennedy, Melanie Lim, and Clerk Lana Peart.
Pam Cornea with Town and Country Realty in beautiful Bear Lake enthusiastically supports the Rich High Rebels.
After all, I raised 4 of them, from football, basketball, wrestling to volleyball. I supported them all. I bleed blue.
The Caribbean of the Rockies, Bear Lake, offers a variety of activities in every season. Pam would love to assist you in finding your own Bear Lake retreat. Call her today, 435-779-0012.
In Rich
Rich County, we know that our children are our future. Helping our kids grow into kind, productive adults is a community effort. This is Rolene Kennedy, Auto Farm Chevrolet's Rich County representative, serving my neighbors for more than 20 years. My kids are Rich High School graduates. When you need a vehicle, come and see me, new or pre-owned. I'll always treat you with respect and honesty, the Rich County way. Auto Farm Chevrolet, we're a community-driven dealer. Go Rebels!
This presentation of Rich High School Athletics on MyLocalRadio.com is brought to you by these Rebel Sports Boosters, LSR Refrigerated, and the Walletines in Garden City. Darren, Tricia, and the entire Walletine clan wish the Rebels good luck. And by Cat Answer Technical Services, proudly supporting the Rich Rebels. The staff at Cat Answer Technical Services wish the Rebels good luck on the field, on the court, in the classroom, and in life.
In today's world, with so many places to shop and so many options to choose from, sometimes you have to boil it down to one simple question: where do I get treated the best? At Cash Honda Yamaha in Logan, we work hard to make sure every customer knows how much we appreciate them. We love what we do, and we believe in the products we sell. Our goal is to build a lasting friendship with every customer so we can serve you and your family for generations. Visit us today, Cash Honda Yamaha, 3765 US 91, Hyde Park, Utah.
And so the steal and the layup for Wallenstein, a candidate for the Rolene Kennedy at Auto Farm Chevrolet play of the game. 30-23. Rich leads by 7. Again, Stacy not on the court to start this Epic Recreation third quarter action. McKee starts right, back left, gives to Tingy. 2-3 zone defense for the Bears. They've been in a 2-3, I believe, on every Rebel offensive possession. Nothing but 2-3 zone for the Bears. Now we've seen them run a press or a couple different traps at different points of the game, but they've always dropped back into that 2-3 zone. Rebels skip it across. McKee for 3, high arcing shot, got it! Over the front of the rim and in. Taylor McKee with 6 points, a T7 Propane and Woodruff three-pointer, and Rich pushes the lead out to 10, 33-23. Lob inside, looking for Gunderson, and Hatch with the quick feet to tip the ball. She gets up and tips it back out of bounds to prevent what would have been an easy bucket for Chelsea Gunderson. 6:26 left in the third quarter. And the Bears inbound from the baseline. Kalisha Parker looking right side, looking into the middle. Lobs into Gunderson, one dribble, turns up with the left, misses. Parker, the offensive board, put back, no. And the rebound on the floor. Tingy and Gunderson wrapped up for a jump ball to the Rebels. There's a Mound Valley Cattle Company jump ball brought to you by Eddie and Todd Jensen out of Thatcher, Idaho. So give Gunderson the rebound. Parker had an offensive rebound in there as well. Here's that half-court trap, a 2-2-1. Wallenstein back to McKee. Taylor fakes a pass. Fake a pass to make a pass. That's a good one. Then she passed to Wallenstein. McKee and the Rebels beat the press. 6 minutes left, Epic Recreation third quarter. Rich leads by 10. The Bears led by 1 to end the first quarter, but Rich has outscored Bear Lake since that point, 20-9, including a 5-0 run to start this third quarter. Rebels showing some patience here. McKee on the right wing. Hatch comes out to set a screen. Then Rebels kick it around to Wallenstein, and Alley takes an extra step before putting the ball on the ground for the dribble. Travels with it. 5:42 left in the third quarter, and the Bears take a timeout. We'll take one, too. Be right back here in this Epic Recreation third quarter.
This is Rich Rebel Senior Eliana Brown with coverage of Rich High basketball on Rebel Radio and MyLocalRadio.com.
Whether you're kicking up dust in the hills, making waves down on the lake, or taking advantage of the world's greatest powder, don't just hope to have fun. Take that sled by the handlebars and make your time at Bear Lake epic. Epic Recreation rents equipment and cabins for your vacation fun at beautiful Bear Lake. From watercraft large and small to UTVs, sleds, and more, Epic Recreation has it all to go on-road, off-road, or out on the Caribbean blue water. Book your adventure at epicrecreation.net.
5:42 left in the Epic Recreation third quarter. Rentals in Bear Lake, whether it be in the winter or the summer, the spring or the fall. Epic Recreation has all your rentals. Visit epicrecreation.net or find them on Facebook. Humphreys across the timeline. Rebels lead by 10, 33-23. Screen by Jimmy Lloyd. Humphreys in a little trouble. Does get it off to Lloyd safely. Jimmy backs it out. Directs a little traffic, and then Yo-Yo's gives left wing. And, boy, a lot of contact as Kelsey tried to drive, and then the second bit of contact called, and Allie Wallenstein, I think, just picked up her third. Rebel first team foul. And Kendall Staple, beast mode, checks into the ballgame. 5:19 left, third quarter, Rich up by 10. Bears outscored the Rebels 14-13 in the first, but it's been Rich outscoring Bear Lake 20-5 since then, or 20-9. Jimmy Lloyd drives and changes the story. Floats it up and in off the window, 33-25. That's the Bears' first point since Rich tied it at 23. That was midway through the second quarter. McKee drives the left baseline and misses short on the shot, but Lloyd fouled her. Jimmy picks up her second. And McKee heads to the line where she's 3 of 4 so far in the ball game and 12 of 14 this season. First one too long. TJ will get another. Just under 5 minutes left in the Epic third. And the Rebels lead by 8. McKee's second one, front iron to the glass and in. 34-25, Rich on top by 9. Humphreys dribbles toward her right. Tingy reaches in, strips the ball away out of bounds. Bears will keep possession. Boy, the ball went out the door, wanted some concessions. Is that Owen Tusher right there? Yeah, helped the Bears win last night over the Rebel boys, 50-29. Parker inbounds to Humphreys. Dribbles to her left. She's tied up, and Tingy reaches in and grabs the ball. McKee had it, and there was no whistle, and then Tingy got Humphreys on the arm. So Sage Tingy picks up her first, second. So, boy, everybody on the court for, I think, both teams has 1 or 2 or more fouls. Parker, speaking of which, has 3. She inbounds to Kelsey Skinner. Inside, Gunderson turns, shoots, and hits. Good defense by Hatch as Gunderson went high and elevated for the shot. Her arm hit Hatch's, but Hatch was straight up. That's perfect defense, and Gunderson just made the play. 34-27, a 7-point Rebel lead. Brown hands off to McKee. Taylor drives baseline, kicks it out. Staple for 3, left wing, too long. And Hatch saves it to Kelsey. Brown wraps her up from behind, and will they call a jump ball or a foul? A jump ball. Brown must have avoided the contact enough, and then Staple came in from the front side to force the Mound Valley Cattle Company jump ball. Eddie and Todd Jensen out of Thatcher, Idaho. Plenty of points in the paint tonight, brought to you by Bear Lake Physical Therapy, helping Rebels and Bears get back in the game since 1998. That's Bear Lake Physical Therapy. Kelsey inside, pivots around, turns, and misses. Too strong off the window. McKenna Stacy with the rebound. She's back in the game. Turns, sprints all the way to the other end. Puts it up with the left hand. No. A little short, but Haley Humphreys got her with the body, and Stacy will go to the line. Bear Lake Realty, Gary McKee in Garden City. Visit bearlakerealty.com, the highest volume and most experienced realtor in the Bear Lake Valley. Stacy shooting 2. She's 2 for 3 so far in the ball game at the foul stripe. And can't get this one to go. The Rebels, after shooting 70% from the free throw line in the first half, so far 1 of 3 here in the Epic Recreation third quarter. Stacy with a second free throw opportunity would push the lead back to 8. She does with a swish. McKenna has 7 points. The Rebels lead by 8. 4:01 left in the epic third. Humphreys and the Bears attacking left to right at mylocalradio.com. Rebels in a tight man-to-man defense. Humphreys follows the screen, but McKee stays right with her. Good defense by the sophomore, TJ McKee. Humphreys passes down to the corner looking for Kelsey. Tingy, I thought she got a fingertip on it, but no, it just sails wide out of bounds. The Bears turn it over. Not quite a Rich County government steal for Rich, but a takeaway nonetheless. Lloyd checks in for Humphreys, senior for junior. And the half-court trap is back on. Stacy sees a lane and pushes forward a bit. Across to McKee, back to McKenna. Stacy, pass deflected, but Tingy has it for Rich. Hesitates, then drives the baseline and goes up strong. Doesn't get the shot to go, but draws the foul and heads to the line. And if that's Gunderson, it would be her third. She was in the vicinity, but who did they call it on? No, not Gunderson, but Kelsey, and that's her third. So Sage Tingy shooting 2, 0 for 1 so far in the game, 1 for 2 as she gets the first one to drop through, back iron and through the net. Ellie Brown checks out. She hasn't scored yet tonight, but boy, she's playing hard. Got some big boards and some tough defense. Tingy, a second free throw attempt coming. She has 5 points, looking to make it 6. And this one misses back iron, too strong. J.C. Cornea tips the rebound away from the Bears and gets it back to herself. Outside to Stacy. McKenna pulls up short from just inside free throw line and then gets her own rebound. Rebels back around. McKee's three is blocked by Kalisha Parker. And the Bears turn and push, but they have to slow it down after some Rebel pressure. Knocks the ball loose. And a travel. Kelsey Skinner turns it over back to Rich. Third turnover of the quarter for the Bears after 6 turnovers through the first 2 quarters total. And Coach Brenda Messerly takes a timeout. We'll take a quick one as well with 3:12 left in the Epic Recreation third quarter on the Wildlife at mylocalradio.com.
We know that when you think of Plains Tire in Evanston, you always think
the Tire Professionals.
Quality customer service.
They're friendly with great prices.
I really like Plains Tire in Evanston.
But did you also know that the team at Plains Tire offers oil changes, windshield wiper checks, and free alignment checks? That's right, free alignment checks. We don't want you to quit thinking all those great things when you hear Plains Tire. We just want you to add to the list. Plains Tire, the tire professionals. Stop in today, 157 Bear River Drive.
Rich leads by 9. They have 3 3-pointers in the game. That's 3 points more than the Bears on 2 versus a 3. Rich also, as Rob Lakes and my cameraman just pointed out, doing camera and stats, Rebels 10 of 16 from the free throw line. The Bears 5 of 16. That's 5 more points right there. The difference in this ball game, that Rich has hit a few threes and is making more free throws. The Rebels, though, in this third quarter, struggling a bit, 50% from the line, 3 of 6. Coach Messerly coming out of that timeout, brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental. Dr. Sean Grohl, quality family dentistry since 1997. Offices in Randolph and in Hiram, Utah for your convenience. That's Comprehensive Family Dental and Dr. Sean Grohl. Rebel basketball. Stacy inbounds to McKee. Again, the half-court trap. This looks a little different. Maybe a 1-1-2-1 is what they look to be set up in. McKee up ahead to Stacy. That pass was high, but McKenna went up to get it. McKenna drives to the left side, puts it up, and powers through Gunderson for the layup. 38-27. Another candidate for the Rolling Kennedy Auto Farm Chevrolet Play of the Game. Stacy with the finish. Lloyd drives into the lane, draws the defense in, dishes off, and Parker does the rest. 38-29, Rebel lead cut back to 9. Parker had 8 points in the first quarter, had not scored until that bucket there with just 2.5 left in the Epic Recreation third. McKee dribbles to her right, gives to Stacy down toward the corner. And then McKenna dribbles back out toward the outside. Draws, got past the defense, but then McKady Smith stopped her, grabbed the ball, and ripped it away. Smith, the senior, showing some strength. Pulls the ball away from the Rebels. Lloyd finds a lane, drives, pick and roll. Smith stuffed. Sydney Hatch with the Rebel rebound. Rich pushes to the other end. Stacy goes up strong. Gunderson avoiding the foul, and Tingy misses just short on the layup attempt. Up ahead, the Bears. Nice tip by Lloyd inside, and Parker's fouled. Jimmy Lloyd and Taylor McKee both had, it was a 50-50 ball, and Lloyd just went up there, instead of grabbing it, tipped it to her teammate, Kalisha Parker, sprinting to the hoop. Sage Tingy, the guilty party on the foul, picks up her third. So you got Tingy, Walentine, and Stacy all with 3 fouls apiece. Bear Lake has Kelsey and Parker with 3 fouls apiece, and Parker's at the line shooting 2. 0 for 1 so far in the game. But Parker swishes this one through. A high arcing shot that barely even touched the nylon. 1:44 left in the Epic Recreation third quarter, and the Rebels lead 38-30 with Parker at the line shooting a second. Misses short. Smith pulled the rebound away from J.C. Cornea over the top. Bears pulled down, go up the other way. Humphreys misses. Ball knocked loose, out of bounds off of Bear Lake to the Rebels. 8-point Rebel lead, 38-30. Some full court pressure as Walentine checks back in. McKee, Tingy, Cornea, and Hatch also on the floor. Stacy getting a breather. McKee up the right side. Trap coming. She dribbles back the other way, away from it. Into the middle. Tingy and Kalisha Parker reaches in. Bear Lake fans not happy about that. They could not see that Parker, just because of their angle, they couldn't see Parker's arm hacking Sage Tingy's arm. So a 4th personal foul on Kalisha Parker, and she heads for the bench. 11 points in the game. Rebels leading by 8. Tingy on the right wing, out on the Rebel, right in front of the Rebel student section. Tingy tries to pass, it's deflected, but Tingy gets it back. Skinner, good defense out on the wing. Walentine around the top. Rebels content to be patient, take some time, eat some clock, and then wait for a great shot. McKee dribbles to her left, picks up the dribble. She may be in a little trouble and gets it back outside to Tingy. Ball got away from her. She's able to keep possession, throws an elbow or two to keep it away from Kelsey Skinner, and Skinner picks up her first personal. Bear Lake fans wanted an offensive foul against Tingy, but don't get it. 53.9 seconds left in the Epic Recreation third quarter. Rich lucky to avoid a Mound Valley Cattle Company jump ball on that play as well. Skinner and the Bears in a 2-3 zone defense. McKee to Walentine on the right wing. Rebels working around the top of the arc. Hatch, a screen up high. Rebels working around to McKee. Taylor on the right wing. Holds down to 40 seconds left in the Epic third. McKee backs it out to the timeline. Boy, she's right back on that line, and Rich backs it out to just eat up some clock. McKee hands to Tingy. Back to Taylor. TJ dribbles to her left. 2 defenders out there with 3 Rebel offensive players. So this is a simple game of keep away, and the Rebels have the numbers. McKee dribbles left, looking for some space, gives to Walentine with 13, 12, 11. Awal dribbles right, Humphreys defending, fires inside, Hatch 1 dribble, tries to shoot, and Gunderson stuffs it. Bears come up with it, and Cornea fouls. 4.4 seconds left in the Epic Recreation third quarter. J.C. Cornea just picked up her second, the Rebel 4th team foul, and the Bears have limited time. Coach Lundgren tells McKee, don't foul, but she slows Humphreys down. Humphreys gets inside the lane and throws it up way too high off the glass. And at the end of 3, Rich leads by 8, 38-30 on the Station on Main scoreboard. This third quarter has been brought to you by Epic Recreation. For all your rentals in Bear Lake, visit epicrecreation.net.
When do you schedule doctor appointments?
In bed before I fall asleep.
In the car waiting to pick up my kids.
We can even do it after breakfast.
We all lead busy lives. Online appointment scheduling puts you in control. In just 90 seconds, you can make an appointment with a primary care provider or specialist at evanstonanytime.com. Select the day and time most convenient for you. Enter some basic information, and just like that, you're scheduled for care. Schedule appointments for next day and beyond at evanstonanytime.com.
We take your fun very seriously. That's why we put so much emphasis on training and experience with our mechanics at Cash Honda Yamaha. Whether you're getting it ready for an upcoming season, putting it away for the winter, having routine maintenance, or have a mechanical problem, we want to make sure that when you're ready to have fun with it, it's ready for you. Don't trust your fun to just anyone. Make sure you bring all your service work to Cash Honda Yamaha in Cache Valley.
Going back to the Thompson Ranch Lazy BT brand keys of the game, one of them was win the battle of the boards. And in that third quarter, Rich out-rebounded Bear Lake 9-6. And that also helped Rich outscore the Bears 10-7. In the first, Bear Lake outscored Rich 14-13. But since then, the Rebels have outscored Bear Lake 25-16. There you have an 8-point lead. Stacy, Tingy, Hatch, Cornea, and Wallenstein on the floor. Underway in the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital fourth. Wallenstein pulls up and misses short. Gunderson, strong rebound, gives off to Kelsey. That was Wallenstein, a long two from the left angle, just outside the left elbow. Humphreys hustles up to the three-point line, fires and misses. Stacy with the rebound. She's got Wallenstein all alone up front, but couldn't find a passing lane. Instead, Wallenstein sets up right wing three, or right baseline three. No. Humphreys rebounds and sprints forward. Tingy with her, defends, and Humphreys finishes with the left hand. Good finish by Haley Humphreys to bring Bear Lake to within 6, 38-32. Rebels push the other way. Cornea misses, point blank left block. And Kelsey with the rebound for Bear Lake. Coach Messerly puts up the big stop sign, says, slow it down, girls. Humphreys sees a lane, takes it, and finishes on the right side. Rich falls asleep defensively for a moment, and the junior Haley Humphreys makes them pay. She's got all 4 points of the quarter so far. 38-34. Rebel lead was as much as 10, is down to 4. Stacy to Tingy. Rich trying to balance that line between eating up the clock and getting passive. Inside to Hatch, nowhere to go, kicks it back out. Stacy drives and a late whistle. The shot was blocked, but then McKenna goes to the floor after the shot. And Chelsea Gunderson, I think, just picked up her third. So Stacy goes to the line, and this game may come down to free throws. The Bear Lake Realty line. Stacy shooting 2, back iron, no. McKenna, uncharacteristic, 50%, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, yes. 3 of 6. McKenna came in shooting 69% from the free throw line. Last year, shot north of 70% at the line. Eyes the target, and this time swishes it through on the second. McKenna has 10 points, and the Rebels lead by 5, 39-34. Kelsey on the left wing. Wallenstein comes out to meet her. Gunderson at the free throw line, pivots around, gives a Skinner on the right wing, gets away with the travel, looks inside, and Hatch reaches around, knocks it away. A Rich County government steal. Stacy to the other end, loses the dribble. Kelsey in on the defense. McKenna finds a spot, right wing, and hits the 15-footer. McKenna with her first field goal since early in the third quarter. 41-34. Rich pushes back out to a 7-point lead. Parker over to check in along with Jimmy Lloyd for the Bears, and Eliana Brown for Rich at the scorer's table. Kelsey drives. Taylor McKee almost ripped the ball away. Bears wanted a foul. Instead, Kelsey goes back to Humphreys around the top of the arc to the top of the key. 5:45 left in the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital fourth quarter. Count on us to care. Bear Lake Memorial in Montpelier. Backdoor looking inside. Gunderson, they go over the top on the entry pass. Gunderson powers through, shoots, hits, and finishes with the foul. J.C. Cornea came from the backside help defense, and Gunderson just too strong for Cornea to stop. That was a perfectly delivered pass by Humphreys over the top of Hatch, who was fronting Gunderson, and but in front of J.C. Cornea coming from the backside for the help. So Cornea picks up her third personal. Gunderson swishes the free throw home for the three-point play. Chelsea has 6 points in the ball game. Down to the other end. Rebels push. Wallenstein with the finish and the foul. Gunderson did it on one end. Wallenstein tries to do it on the other. AWOL has 13 points in the game and a chance to push the Rebel lead back out. This would be a candidate for the Rolene Kennedy at Auto Farm Chevrolet play of the game if Wallenstein can hit the free throw. Her first foul shot attempt of the game. AWOL, swish. The senior knocks it down. AWOL with the three-point play. Well, most of her three-point plays are from beyond the arc, but this one from inside the arc, the finish and the foul. And the foul was charged to Josie Kelsey, her fourth personal. I failed to mention that. 7th team foul on the Bears. Rich with 5 team fouls. Just under 5.5 left to go in the ballgame. Humphreys from the free throw line. No, back iron, rebound tipped up, a mass of bodies, and the ball drops into the hands of McKady Smith. Down, and Hatch comes up with it, rips it away from the defense, but Jimmy Lloyd steals it out of bounds off of Lloyd. Bear Lake fans wanted a foul, but it was a 50-50 ball. Lloyd jumped in front of Stacy, who grabbed it at the same time, and then it went out of bounds off of Lloyd's, what I would look like to me, off of her knee. Rebels inbound against the full court press. Lloyd and Humphreys defending. Stacy into the middle. Wallenstein had Brown wide open on the right block, but just couldn't see her and probably didn't have a passing lane even had she seen her. So the Rebels back it out. McKee, jab step, dribbles down to the right corner. Back around to the top. Wallenstein into the lane, floats it, and misses just short. Long rebound. Jimmy Lloyd picks it up. Brown pokes it away from behind, and the Rebels come up with the Rich County government steal. Rebels with a championship cause. Wallenstein, left wing three. Back iron, no, just off. Humphreys the rebound, and the Bears push. Haley across the timeline, moves strong. Wallenstein was stuffed. Oh, my goodness. She must have moved just to her right, and I didn't see it because she looked like she was planted, had grown roots in the lane. Wallenstein picks up her 4th personal foul. Ooh. Have to pull a shovel out, maybe a pickaxe or an axe to chop those roots out of the lane because Wallenstein was planted. Humphreys, first free throw, front iron, back iron, and in. Haley with 5 points in the quarter, chance to make it 6. This free throw would bring the Bears within 5 and does. Humphreys swishes it through. She's got 6 points in the quarter after having 7 points in the entire game leading up to this 4th period. Rebels up ahead, lose the ball. Brown across the lane. Hatch too strong off the window, but Brown with the Rebel board passes it away to Kalisha Parker with the steal. Second Rebel turnover of the quarter. Bears within 5. Jimmy Lloyd travels, and there's the whistle. Easy call there, although it happened so quickly. Would have been tough to see, but the officials did see it. 4:09 left in the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital 4th. Rich leads by 5. They've been outscored 9-6, though, in this 4th period. Full court press backs off. 17 fouls on the Bears. Rich with 16 fouls, so we'll shoot free throws the rest of the way. Midway through the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital 4th. Stacy follows a screen to the free throw line, pulls up and misses back iron. Gunderson the rebound, pulls it away from a few Rebels, throws an elbow or two, and then gives it off to Humphreys. Haley pushes across the lane. Parker pulls in the pass and puts it up and in with the right hand. Kalisha with 13 points, and the Bears are within 3, 44-41. Gunderson got to be approaching double digits, if not already there in rebounds. Yeah, she's there. And the Rebels take a timeout with 3.5 minutes left in the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital 4th quarter. We'll take a quick timeout as well and be right back on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com.
More than 1,300 rural hospitals were evaluated, and for the 3rd year in a row, Bear Lake Memorial Hospital placed in the top 100 for quality as well as best practices and critical access, with a 24-hour emergency department, orthopedics, home health, a residential nursing home, physical therapy, surgical services, family doctors, chemotherapy, dialysis, and more. So, when it comes to your health, make sure you're seen by the best. Bear Lake Memorial Hospital in Montpelier, Idaho. Count on us to care.
3 minutes, 30 seconds left in this ball game. The Rebels had outscored the Bears pretty heavily in the second and third quarters, 25-16. But Bear Lake has outscored Rich here in the 4th, 11-6. The Ducks outscored the Utes last night in the 4th quarter. What? 14-0. Still celebrating that win. Ducks onto the Rose Bowl, unfortunately for the Utes. Look, if it was anybody besides the Ducks, I'd have wanted the Utes to win. But not the Ducks. 3:30 left to go. The Rebels with a 3-point lead. Sage Tingy chatting with the official as she gets set for the inbound play. Inbound plays are brought to you by the Crawford Trough. Rich could really use Bear Lake physical therapy points in the paint here. It'll be not quite as tough because Chelsea Gunderson not in the game for the moment. Stacy fakes the 3. Crosses over in the lane, back outside to Brown. Ellie gives back to Stacy with just over 3 minutes to go. Tingy on the right wing. Looking inside, nothing there. Brown comes back up top to Stacy on the right corner. She'll drive, dish off to Tingy. Sage shoots. She's stuffed out of bounds. Rebel basketball. The long arms of Josie Kelsey. Boy, and Kelsey with 4 personal fouls avoids her 5th with a fantastic block. Stacy with the Crawford Trophy and Randolph inbound play from the baseline. Rebels right side of the hoop. Stacy looking in. Lobs out high to McKee. Taylor, quick move into the lane, kicks it back out. Brown to her left, pulls up and misses short. Rebound Kelsey of Bear Lake. She'll turn and run. Bears have a chance to tie. 44-41, Rich up by 3 with under 3 to go in the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital fourth quarter. Humphreys taking her time, calls for a screen, gets it, follows it, bounces across the lane. The pass, though, was low for Kalisha Parker, and the Rebels foul her trying to take it away. And I think it was Tingy. It was Sage, and that's her 4th personal foul. Rebels' 7th team foul puts Parker at the line, shooting 1-1. So far, Kalisha, 1 of 3 at the line tonight. She could bring the Bears within a point if she hits these 2. Hits the first, just got past the front of the iron. But it's that high arc that gets it over the top and softly down in. 44-42, Rebel 10-point lead is down to 2. Parker can't get the second to go, and Brown rips down the rebound. So Rich maintains a 2-point lead. Stacy against some full court pressure, man-to-man pressure by Jimmy Lloyd. The Bears have switched to a man-to-man defense. Up to Tingy, and Parker just picked up her 5th. She's done. Bear Lake fans don't like it, but looked like a lot of contact from here. And Parker just fouled out with 2:22 left to go. What a game she had tonight. A handful of rebounds plus the 14 points. But her night is done. And Sage Tingy steps up to the Bear Lake Realty free throw line for 1-1, misses the front end. Gunderson rips down a strong rebound, and Rich fails to convert any more points with that free throw. Humphreys, Rebels wanted to travel, but she did a good job to keep her pivot foot down. Pass inside, looking to go over the top to Gunderson, and Tingy keeps her position. That was a strong play by Tingy because she was falling backwards, but came up with the Rich County government steal. Wallenstein on the right wing. Long 3 is too long. Rebound, Cornea tips it, and then Kelsey comes up with it. Josie pushes up the right side. Rebels have 3 defenders back, so Kelsey stops, gives to Humphreys for 3. Short front off the right side iron, and Tingy has a Rebel rebound. Coach Lundgren calls a timeout with 1 minute, 40 seconds left to go in this Bear Lake Memorial Hospital fourth quarter, and the Rich Rebels leading 44-42. We'll keep it right here and give a quick look at the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital, or Bear Lake Realty fan cam. Rebel student section back to the cowbells. That's got to be a theme this year, what it's looking like for the Rebel student section. They got a bucket full of cowbells and drumsticks, and they hand them out during the timeout. They'll hold on to them for a bit, put them back in the bucket after they make some noise. A close one here. Bear Lake Realty, buy a home in beautiful Bear Lake. Rent it out so it pays for itself. You can enjoy it some of the time as well. And soon you've got your own beautiful home in the Caribbean of the Rockies. Call Bear Lake Realty today to find out. Bear Lake Realty today to find out how. 435-946-8888. That's bearlakerealty.com. 1:35 left to go. Bears in a man-to-man defense as Stacy crosses the timeline, crosses over Humphreys, turns to her left, back to her right, dishes off to Brown, who can't quite finish, but she's fouled. What a move by Stacy. She turned and started right, then back to her left, drawing the defense, dish off to Brown, and Ellie heads to the line for 2 critical Bear Lake Realty free throws. Ellie's first, short. Jimmy Lloyd came over to box her out unnecessarily, as Brown will shoot a second one regardless. Big free throw here for Ellie Brown, and she can't get it to go. Rebound, Gunderson. She's well into double digits on rebounds. The Rebel lead remains at 2, 44-42. Rebels haven't scored. They've been outscored 5-0 in the last couple of minutes. And Humphreys makes it 7-0 and ties the score. Drives in, scoops it up with the left and in. Humphreys with a monster 8 points here in the fourth. Stacy goes the other way. A little bit of contact. She went down, tried to pass it off, and threw it away. So the Rebels turned it over for just a third time in the quarter and a 10th time in the ball game. Bears have tied the score with 1:06 left and a full timeout on the court. We'll take a quick one as well and be right back. This timeout is presented by Comprehensive Family Dental. Dr. Sean Grohl, providing quality family dentistry since 1997.
This is Rich Rebel Senior Eliana Brown with coverage of Rich High basketball on Rebel Radio and mylocalradio.com.
More than 1,300 rural hospitals were evaluated, and for the third year in a row, Bear Lake Memorial Hospital placed in the top 100 for quality as well as best practices and critical access, with a 24-hour emergency department, orthopedics, home health, a residential nursing home, physical therapy, surgical services, family doctors, chemotherapy, dialysis, and more. So, when it comes to your health, make sure you're seen by the best. Bear Lake Memorial Hospital in Montpelier, Idaho. Count on us to care.
The Bears on a 7-0 run, and during that time, the Rebels 0 of 3 from the free throw line. Their last points were Allie Wallentine's finish and the foul, and then she hit the free throw. A three-point play made it 44-37, but Rich has not scored since then. And Bear Lake, meanwhile, has scored 7 points and has tied the score at 44. The Bears shooting 63% from the floor here in the fourth quarter, and a big part of that is Haley Humphreys, who has 3 field goals, all layups, and 2 free throws, where she's 2 for 2 from the line. Humphreys across the timeline with 60 seconds left to go to decide the winner in this Bear Lake rivalry game. And Stacy tips the ball away from Humphreys. McKenna pushes up to the right side and then loses the dribble but picks it up back in the corner. A Rich County government steal at a critical time. Maybe a candidate for the precision play of the game, brought to you by McKay Frankham Dental Services. In the lane, Tingy goes up strong, misses. Stacy, the offensive board, back out. AWOL for 3, right wing. No, it pops out. Gunderson with the rebound. And the Bears have a chance to take the lead. Humphreys to her right, double, triple team comes. She throws it away to Stacy. Coach Messerly calls a timeout and gets it. She called the timeout or asked for it before possession was neutral. And so the Bears maintain possession with 21.3 seconds to go. What a heads-up call by Coach Messerly to ask for that timeout before the Rebels took the ball away. That is her last timeout. My stat man just informed me. So the Bears out of timeouts. They'll get the ball down in front of their bench to start. And this is a tough situation to be in for Rich, and a good situation for the Bears because they have the chance at a game-winning shot, but there's less pressure because even if they miss a shot at the buzzer, it's overtime. It's not a loss. It's just an extra period. And for the Rebel defense, you got to go avoid fouling, but you've also got to play tight defense, and you can't give up the easy bucket. Tough spot. Rebels have been outscored in this fourth quarter 14-6. Shots not falling. Free throws, a struggle for Rich in the third. 2 of 6. 2 of 6 from the line here in this fourth quarter. Even going 4 of 6, 67%, and Rich would be up by 2 instead of tied at 44. So 21.3 seconds to go in the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital fourth quarter. The Rebels could really use a Rich County government steal. McKenna Stacy defending the inbound. It's Haley Humphreys to toss it in. Goes to Gunderson. Hands off. Humphreys down the lane. Puts it up and misses. But the offensive board, no. And the Rebels have it. Stacy fouled as she comes down and will shoot 1 and 1. No, it'll be 2 free throws. That's a 10th Bear Lake foul. Haley Humphreys, the guilty party. Boy, the Bears just couldn't quite get a shot to go. They had 2 good looks. And now the junior, McKenna Stacy, who has 12 points in the ball game, goes to the line to shoot 2 with 13 seconds to go. The gym silent for a moment. Stacy lines it up and hits the first. Back iron and down through. There's the Rolene Kennedy at Auto Farm Chevrolet shot of the game to this point. Another Bear Lake Realty free throw for McKenna. Spins it a little bit more. Sets it up. Fires and hits. 2 monster free throws from the junior. So the Rebels lead by 2. Roll into Humphreys across the timeline with 10 seconds to go. Stacy defending. Dribbles to her right. Humphreys sees a lane, drives, misses, but a blocking foul will put Humphreys on the line. Ellie Brown came over on the help defense. Had Humphreys hit that, she could put her team up by a point with the free throw, but she didn't hit it. So the best she can do is tie. Coach Lundgren calls a timeout to plan what to do on made or missed free throws. Humphreys will shoot 2 and can tie it with 4.2 seconds to go. A full timeout on the court. We'll take a quick one as well and be right back in this rival of rivalries. The Bear Lake Memorial Hospital fourth quarter continues right after this on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com.
Whether you're kicking up dust in the hills, making waves down on the lake, or taking advantage of the world's greatest powder, don't just hope to have fun. Take that sled by the handlebars and make your time at Bear Lake epic. Epic Recreation rents equipment and cabins for your vacation fun at beautiful Bear Lake. From watercraft large and small to UTVs, sleds, and more, Epic Recreation has it all to go on-road, off-road, or out on the Caribbean blue water. Book your adventure at epicrecreation.net.
Well, Humphreys, I don't know how that layup didn't go in. She got robbed. It bounced around. I thought it was through, and then it popped back out. McKenna Stacy hit 2 free throws, clutch free throws with just, I think it was 13 seconds left at the time. And now Haley Humphreys at the line with 4.2 seconds left to go. Humphreys shooting 2. She can tie the game if she hits them both. And the first one goes down. Front iron to the backboard and down through. And Coach Lundgren takes a timeout. Is that his last? One more timeout for Coach Lundgren. He takes a timeout. There was some strategizing before the first free throw. Now more strategizing between this first and second free throw. 46-45, Rebels up by 1. We thought we'd get a good game tonight. And boy, have the Rebels and the Bears delivered. 4.2 seconds to go. Haley Humphreys, the junior, who has 9 points in this fourth quarter, can tie the ball game with this second free throw coming up. Now, so far tonight, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She's 4 of 6 from the free throw line, but she's hit her last 3 in a row. She's also got 9 of the Bears' 15 points in the quarter. She's had a Bear Lake monstrous fourth quarter, and we'll see if she can tie it here. She does! Swishes it through, so the Bears tie the score at 46. Stacy with 3, 2, takes her time, half court, short, overtime. Tied at 46, we're going to an extra period. This rivalry needs more than 32 minutes and 4 quarters. We're going to quarter number 5, overtime, when we return on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com.
The best place to stay when you're in Casper, Wyoming is the Come On In Hotel and Suites. This beautiful log hotel offers 5 hot tubs, 1 pool, a fitness center, and fabulous indoor atrium. Offering jacuzzi and fireplace suites, the guest rooms are comfortable and relaxing. Plus, every stay includes a delicious extended continental breakfast. Whenever you're in Casper, stay at the best place. Come On In Hotel and Suites. Come on in today. Come On In Hotel and Suites, Casper.
Success is no accident. It comes from constant hard work, perseverance, sacrifice, and learning from failure. Laketown Mayor Burdette Weston and council members Dallas Clark, Chris Hodges, Gary Ogilvie, and Delora White encourage the Rich High Rebels to continue to do whatever it takes to succeed in academics, activities, and athletics. The town council and citizens of Laketown celebrate the success of all the students and staff in the Rich School District.
The Bears entered the fourth quarter 33% from the free throw line, 6 of 18. On 7 attempts in the fourth quarter, they matched those 6 makes. 6 of 7 from the free throw line in the fourth quarter went the Bears. Second Sabey Trucking tip-off of the game. Jimmy Lloyd ahead to McKenna Stacy with the Rich County government steal. McKenna goes strong to the hoop. Oh my goodness, how is there not a foul there? Jimmy Lloyd down in front. Both Stacy and Lloyd end up on the floor and no whistle. Humphreys back to shoot, and a makeup call on an illegal screen gives the ball to Rich. McKady Smith called for the illegal screen. Tied at 46 in overtime, 3:43 left to go. Rebels come out with Stacy, 3 fouls, Wallenstein 4 fouls, Tingy 4 fouls, Cornea 3 fouls, and Hatch foulless. No chicken tonight for Sydney Hatch so far, no fouls. Stacy against the man-to-man defense. Gets by the D, up with the left hand and in. You put her one-on-one with just about anybody, she's going to take it to the hole and finish. Big bucket there for Stacy. Humphreys for 3. Rattles out, and the Rebels get the rebound. McKenna Stacy with the board. Boy, that could have been huge for the Bears. Humphreys tasked with defending Stacy one-on-one. To Wallenstein on the right wing, back up top. Tingy on the left side, and then hands off to Stacy. McKenna. Humphreys defending her right side, and she hands off to Wallenstein. AWOL to the hoop, misses too strong off the glass. Hatch with the offensive board and the putback. Sydney Hatch with her first points of the game. Big time precision play of the game right there. McKay Frankham Dental Services. Humphreys to her left, follows the screen, was fouled once, fouled twice, 3 times. Humphreys to the line. Haley Humphreys, who had 10 points in the fourth quarter, outscored the Rebels on her own. As the Bears outscored Rich 16-8 in the fourth. Rebels lead 50-46. Humphreys at the line, shooting 2, swishes the first. She missed 2 of her first 3 attempts. She's hit 5 in a row at the free throw line. Second one coming to make it a 2-point ball game. Swish. Haley Humphreys, 12 points in the second quarter, or the fourth quarter, and overtime. Rich leads by 2. 2.5 left to go. Just over that here in overtime. The Bear Lake rivalry. On the Station on Main scoreboard, Stacy fakes a 3, drives right, double team comes, she fights through, misses, but she's fouled. McKady Smith just picked up her 3rd, and Stacy goes to the line to shoot 2. McKenna hit 2 big free throws in the fourth quarter to keep Rich on top. And swishes the first. Rebels up by 3. That's a big one. It's a 3-point lead. There's 2.5 minutes left to go. Several possessions will decide this ball game. Lloyd checks in. It's Lloyd, Smith, Gunderson, Kelsey, and Humphreys on the floor for the Bears. Hatch, Cornea, Stacy, Wallenstein, and Tingy on the floor for Rich. Multiple players with 4 fouls and 3 fouls on the floor. Stacy's second free throw to put Rich up by 2 possessions. Back iron long. Gunderson the rebound, of course. Who else? She's been a beast on the boards tonight. Lloyd up to the right wing. Smith holds. Follows a screen to her left. Tingy pokes it away. Smith gets it back. The inside looking for Kelsey. They get it to her. Turn around. Yes! Kelsey got it to go around the rim and drops through. 51-50. Rich leads by 1. These teams went to overtime, not last year, but the year before, and Bear Lake won 55-54. Wallenstein inside. Cornea turns and puts it up and in with the left. What a pass. And Cornea, who scored 6 in the first half, hadn't scored until that bucket here in the second half. 53-50, Rich up by a triple. 1:44 left to go. Smith lobs inside, looking backdoor for Kelsey. She comes down hard after she couldn't come down with the ball. Stacy into the lane, floats. Gunderson blocks. Back up ahead to Kelsey. Pushing up the right side. High dribble, no whistle. Turns and she's fouled, and Wallenstein just fouled out. Rebel coach is not happy they didn't get the high dribble, and I don't know how you didn't get it on Kelsey, but Wallenstein is finished. Allie with 14 points in the ball game. 1:27 left to go. Each team has had a player foul out. Both of them have scored 14 points. Allie Wallentyne and Kalisha Parker have both fouled out. Both scored 14 points in the ball game. At the line, Josie Kelsey swishes it through. The Bears were awful from the free throw line through the first 3 quarters. 33%, 6 of 18 through the first 3 quarters. So far through the fourth quarter and overtime, 8 of 10. 8 of 9. No, Parker missed one late in the fourth, and Kelsey hits that one as well. They're 4 for 4 in the overtime period. 53-52. Rich, a skinny 1-point lead with 1:20 to go. Stacy across the timeline. McKenna picked up 3 fouls in the first half, hasn't picked up one since then. Drives, dishes, she's fouled as she split 2 defenders. McKady Smith doesn't like the call as she picked up her 4th. Shakes her head, and McKenna Stacy goes back to the line for 2 more Bear Lake Realty free throws. 1, 2, 3, 10 of 11. Stacy's first front iron and jumps up over the top of the rim and in. McKenna, 2 of 3 from the Bear Lake Realty free throw line in overtime. Can make it a 3-point ball game with this second Bear Lake Realty free throw, and she does with a swish. Big one there. Rich leads by 3, 55-52 in overtime. 1 minute left to go, just more than that. Humphreys across the timeline. Taylor McKee defending her. Taylor has 2 personal fouls. Kelsey into the lane, dishes off for Gunderson. Pass too hot. Gunderson saves it, and Tingy comes up with it off to Stacy. McKenna looking forward. Sprints to push Lloyd back and then creates some space. Coach Messerly telling her girls, get out there and defend. McKee dribbles left. Lloyd defending her, gives off to Stacy, and Lloyd fouls McKenna to go to the line. McKenna asking for the technical, as it really didn't look like a basketball play. You know the intention of Jimmy Lloyd was to commit the foul and stop the clock. The officials discuss it, and frankly, the intention, I don't think it should be a flagrant. I like that call. In this situation, you know she wants to foul and stop the clock, so just let that be. As it is, it sends McKenna Stacy to the line to shoot 2, which could put the Rich Rebels up by 2 possessions if she hits either or both. And the first one won't go. Halfway down, pops out. Stacy with 5 points in overtime, 19 points in the game. She and Haley Humphreys have 19 points each and lead all scorers. This second free throw would make it a 4-point game. Bear Lake Realty free throw, yes, with a swish. 56-52, Rich up by 2 scores with 40 seconds to go, and Coach Messerly takes a timeout. 41.1 to go in overtime on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com.
Early Oregon-bound immigrants traveled through the Bear Lake Valley. U.S. Highway 30 basically follows the Oregon Trail. Many wagon trains stopped at Thomas L. Pegleg Smith Trading Post, located near Dingle, Idaho, for supplies. One traveler wrote of camping along Cotton Line Bear River, watching grass as tall as a man wave in the wind. Today, you don't have to ride in a wagon to visit Bear Lake Valley, but the rich history is still here to enjoy. Visit bearlake.org for more information.
The Bears outscored the Rebels 16-8 in the fourth quarter. The Rebels have outscored the Bears 10-6 here in overtime. 41.1 seconds to go. 10 of those Rebel points, or let's see, 6 of those 10 Rebel points have come from McKenna Stacy, 4 at the foul line, and then Sydney Hatch and J.C. Cornea with buckets each, 2 points each from inside. Bear Lake Physical Therapy points. Bear Lake Physical Therapy points in the paint, helping Rebels and Bears get back in the game since 1998. We're in overtime, and the Rebels lead by 4. 41.1 seconds to go. Rich on top by 2 possessions, 56-52. Again, the Bears won here at Rich 55-54 in overtime 2 years ago, and the Rebels looking to turn the tides. The Bears have won 3 of the last 4 in this matchup after the Rebels had won 8 straight. Lloyd dribbles off of Stacy's foot. Bears want a kick, but that's not how it works, guys. Humphreys into the lane, tries to split the defense, gets the ball knocked away. Smith comes up with it and shoots, is fouled, and will go to the line. So McKady Smith will shoot 2. She has not attempted free throws tonight. The foul, J.C. Cornea's 5th. Second Rebel to foul out tonight. Cornea finishes with 8 points and close to 10 rebounds. Don't worry about it. Rob keeping stats. 6 rebounds. And Smith swishes the first one through. So Cornea fouls out with 23.8 seconds left in the overtime period. Smith with a second big free throw coming. Swish! McKady Smith, the senior, steps up and knocks them both down. Rebels inbound to Taylor McKee. TJ gives to Stacy. McKenna sees a lane and takes it up court across the timeline. Picks up the dribble, and Coach Lundgren takes a timeout with 15.8 seconds to go. Rich just needs to take care of the ball and hit some free throws, and they should be able to hold on for this win here at home in overtime over the Bear Lake Bears. 58-54. Make sure to stay tuned in our post-game show. We'll have the McKay Frankham Dental Services Precision Play of the Game. The Garden City LSR refrigerated in Garden City game adjustment, and the Rolene Kennedy at Auto Farm Chevrolet shot and play of the game, plus the Jimmy John's Freaky Fast recap. And since I mentioned it, the LSR refrigerated play or game adjustment, boy, the Rebels adjusted in the first half and really did a great job in the second quarter, outscoring the Bears 15-9 and then 10-7 in the third quarter. Rich is taking care of the ball well tonight. I don't see a turnover, one turnover here in overtime. But looking at adjustment, the Bears have made some adjustments in this second half. One is a change from zone defense to man defense in the fourth quarter, and also the way they've pushed the tempo. The Bears 12 of 13 from the free throw line here in this fourth quarter and overtime. And the Rebels, who shot 70% from the free throw line in the first half, have struggled at the line in the third and fourth quarters, but a little better here in the overtime, 3 of 5. It may come down to free throws. McKee, Tingy, Hatch, Stacy, and Brown on the floor, with Cornea and Wallenstein on the bench having fouled out. Kalisha Parker fouled out for Bear Lake. Inbound, McKee's got to get it in, and a timeout. Coach Lundgren, just before the 5-second violation, gets the timeout. McKee being safe with it to make sure she didn't turn it over and just held it a little bit too long. 15.5 seconds left in the ball game, and that's one of those situations we saw the boys do that last year in a game against Mountain View where they couldn't get the ball in, and Coach Brown had talked with the official before the timeout was over to say, hey, if we're going to get a 5-second violation, I want a timeout right before that. It happened twice near the end of the game, and Rich went on to beat Mountain View in boys basketball last year. That was at the Flaming Gorge Classic, and Coach Lundgren gets the same courtesy here with the timeout just before a 5-second violation. Rebel teammates encouraging Taylor McKee, just a sophomore, tasked with a big task there to inbound the ball. This time it'll be Tingy to inbound, but again, the teammates saying, hey, Taylor, don't worry about it. You did the smart thing to not turn it over, not force it in. A Crawford Trough and Randolph inbound play. Tingy hands to Stacy. McKenna pushes. Jimmy Lloyd reaches in and fouls with 12.1 seconds to go, and Lloyd just picked up her 4th. We're well into the double bonus, so Stacy will shoot 2. 2 Rebels have fouled out. 1 Bear has fouled out. With 12.1 seconds to go, and McKenna Stacy shooting 2 free throws. A moment of silence as she swishes the first one through. One more would put Rich back in a 2-possession ball game. Bear Lake Realty free throw. Gary McKee in Garden City, the most experienced and highest volume realtor in the Bear Lake Valley. Second free throw from Stacy. Short, and it rims out. Kelsey with the rebound. A 3-point Rebel lead, 57-54. Humphreys up across the timeline. Kicks left side, long 3. Jimmy Lloyd off the top of the glass. Stacy pulls down the Rebel rebound and dribbles the clock out. Rebels win 57-54 in overtime. Rich with the win in the Bear Lake rivalry defends the home court. 57-54 in overtime. Fitting that we would need overtime to decide a winner in this one. These teams will meet again later this season in Bear Lake on January 2nd. We'll look forward to that one. In the meantime, the post-game show when we return, including the Jimmy John's Freaky Fast recap right here on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com.
You rely on your vehicle every day. Make sure your ride gets the best service, repairs, and maintenance possible. Stacy's Repair in Woodruff provides the highest quality, the latest technology, and the newest equipment to give your vehicle the absolute best auto care available. Family owned and operated since 1992, your friends at Stacy's Repair promise to always deliver value and outstanding, honest, and knowledgeable service, regardless of repair size or difficulty. Stacy's Repair, the ones who truly care.
At beautiful Bear Lake, skiing, snowmobiling, sailing, and swimming are just some of the fun activities offered to recreationists. The Greater Bear Lake Valley offers prime hunting and fishing areas, whether it's trout fishing in the streams or ice fishing for Cisco on the lake, hunting deer or seeking elk along the high mountain ridges. The scenic corner of Utah and Idaho offers outdoor recreation and historical interests away from crowds and high prices. Visit bearlake.org for more information.
Back for the post-game show, the Rebels and the Bear Lake Bears and the Bear Lake rivalry. Both teams came in undefeated. One leaves with a loss, a blemish on their schedule. Let's get into that now with the Jimmy John's Freaky Fast recap. Jimmy John's at 113 Front Street in Evanston. Gourmet sandwiches fresh and fast every day at Jimmy John's. Coming into the game, again, the Bears at 2-0, the Rebels at 3-0, and the Bears started out hot, jumped out to a 4-0 lead. Rich answered with a 5-0 run, including a three-pointer by Ali Wallenstein. Score was tied at 7. The Bears pushed out to a 1-point lead at the end of the first, 14-13. But then through the second and third quarters, Rich outscored Bear Lake 25-16, and Rich led by 8 entering the fourth. But Bear Lake wasn't done. They battled back and doubled up Rich in the fourth quarter, outscoring the Rebels 16-8 and tied the score. That forced overtime. Haley Humphreys had 10 of her 19 points in that fourth quarter to force that extra period. And in the overtime, the Rebels got some early buckets, hit just enough free throws to keep the lead, and McKenna Stacy scored 7 of her 21 points in overtime to help Rich to a 57-54 victory. Rich held on for the win in overtime by 3, 57-54. That's your Jimmy John's Freaky Fast recap. Jimmy John's at 113 Front Street in Evanston. They spend 6 hours every day slicing all natural meats and fresh produce for your 30-second sandwich. If you like spicy, get the sandwich with hot peppers, and you won't regret it. They are delicious. Jimmy John's Freaky Fast recap. Rebels win 57-54. We'll have some final stats and highlights for you. The McKay Frankham Dental Services Precision Play, the Rolene Kennedy Shot and Play, and the LSR Refrigerated Game Adjustment when we return on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com. As one of the region's most visited websites, MyLocalRadio.com is here to serve you. Catch up on local and regional news and information. Buy, sell, or trade your good used items on the radio classifieds. Check the weather forecast or catch our live coverage of your high school teams in action, all on MyLocalRadio.com. Like us on Facebook so you never miss a giveaway, and visit MyLocalRadio.com today to stream it all live. Back at Rich High School for more of the post-game show. The Rebels squeaked out a win. Through 3 quarters, it looked like Rich was going to pull away and win, maybe even by double digits. But Bear Lake had different plans, especially Haley Humphreys, who scored 10 of her 19 points in the fourth quarter and forced overtime in that extra period. The Rebels outscored Bear Lake 11-7. And that may be, you talk about having a home court advantage. And that may be the difference of those 3 points right there. That bit of a home court and the win for Rich. Let's move along in our post-game show with some highlights and stats here at the end. And we start with the Rolene Kennedy at Auto Farm Chevrolet play and shot of the game. And I think one shot that I'm thinking of is free throws down the stretch. Rebels finished from the line, from the free throw line, 19 of 32. That's just 59%. 19 of 32. they were 70% from the free throw line in the first half, but struggled in the second half. But looking back and some of the shots that stick out, maybe the free throws that McKenna Stacy shot in overtime, because of how big those were, to keep that lead at just enough to where Bear Lake was pressured to try and enforce a few things to get back into it and try to win. Rich, just 4 of 14 from three-point range. I mean, we could look at a couple of shots. Allie Wallenstein, that three to put Rich on top 5-4 early on. Wallenstein hit another three to put Rich up 23-21 midway through the second quarter. I think we'll go with Wallenstein's three in the second quarter, because that put Rich up 23-21. And while they didn't hold the lead the rest of the way, they never trailed the rest of the way. I'm just verifying that that's true. They went up 23-21, yeah, and they did not trail again. Bear Lake tied it a few times after that, but that three by Allie Wallenstein midway through the second quarter was her second three of the game and put Rich up, well, where they didn't trail again the rest of the game. Rolling Kennedy play of the game goes to, I think, boy, we had a few of them that come to mind I took note of. McKenna Stacy on a fast break. She throws deep to J.C. Cornea, who finishes. Another time later in the second quarter, the Allie Wallenstein got a rebound, went to the floor, was able to pass to J.C. Cornea before the travel or without the travel, and then Cornea went up ahead to McKenna Stacy for the layup. Stacy with a finish through Chelsea Gunderson in the third quarter. It just powered through. I think we'll go with that play in the second quarter, put Rich up 28-23 at the time, as Wallenstein got the rebound, gave off to Cornea, up ahead to Stacy for the coast-to-coast layup and the bucket to make it 28-23. The McKay Frankham Dental Services Precision Play of the game. Dental care at reasonable rates for the whole family at 170 Arrowhead Drive, number 1, McKay Frankham DDS. That goes to Allie Wallenstein in the fourth quarter. Rich nursing a 41-37 lead. The Bears had just converted a three-point play via Chelsea Gunderson, who finished with 6 points, and AWOL went to the other end and said, you can do it, I can do it too. Finished with the foul, hit the free throw. Wallenstein finished with 14 points, and that put Rich up 44-37. That free throw critical. All those points critical to force overtime and then eventually earn the win. And your LSR refrigerated adjustment of the game. LSR refrigerated in Garden City. Darren, Tricia, and the entire Wallenstein family wish the Rebels good luck. And so this spawns off of an adjustment that Bear Lake made to move from a zone defense into a man-to-man. And the zone defense was giving McKenna Stacy had 9 points through the first three quarters. Part of that was because she got in foul trouble, but also part of that was a zone defense is a little bit designed to minimize what one individual can do against you unless they're hitting from outside. Against the man-to-man defense in the fourth quarter and overtime, Wallenstein scored 12 of her 21 points. And Stacy, thank you. I said Wallenstein. McKenna Stacy scored 12 of her 21 points. And that was an adjustment not only by Stacy but by the team to spread the floor differently, to set screens and things like that. Stacy did a good job, and the rest of the team did a good job. And that was a team adjustment that I think we're going to go with for the LSR refrigerated adjustment of the game. All right. We're going to move right along in our post-game show and jump into the Rebel Sports Update. Had a chance to talk with Riker Conk. Now, keep in mind the Rebel wrestling team was at Grace this morning. Not sure how. Don't have final results. I know a few individuals did well, but we talked with Riker earlier this week, Rebel sophomore wrestler, and we'll hear a little bit more about the Rebel wrestling team now. With Riker Conk, a sophomore at Rich High School. Riker, thanks for your time.
You're welcome.
Wrestling, what are you looking forward to this season? You got the season starting this weekend.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to being with my team and being with my brother for his last year. It's his senior year, and I hope the best for our team and him.
What weight are you going to wrestle this year?
I'll be 152.
Little bro is like 125, isn't he?
Yeah, 120.
120. So, but you're a little bit bigger. Who wins? Do you guys ever wrestle at home? You have a mat in the living room or something?
We don't have a mat, but we wrestle on the carpet, and it just depends what mood we're in. Sometimes I beat him with all my weight.
Is he, with a couple more years of experience, is he a little more skilled as far as like wrestling holds and moves and things?
Yes, definitely.
But are you getting there?
Yeah.
How did you do last year as a freshman?
I took second at region, but I got beat out at state, and I'm looking forward to the rest of this year.
Have you added weight between last year to this year?
Yes, about 30 pounds.
So is it going to be a tougher, is 152 a much tougher weight class, or how will it be different for you?
It'll be harder because the kids at 52 have more muscle and they know more.
Generally, do you have it's more upperclassmen up at around 152?
Yeah, mostly seniors.
So those are guys with a lot more experience, and it'll be an interesting year for you.
Yes, it will.
Do you have a goal for yourself? Like you want to, again, like win a region title, improve from last year, or place at state?
Yeah, I really want to win the region title because region's at Rich this year, and I want to win state. But as a goal for our team, too, I'd like to have us win the region title since it's at Rich, and state title for our first one ever.
Do you remember when you first, like your first wrestling match, or when you first got into it?
I was in preschool, so I don't really remember it, but I remember wrestling all three styles, Greco, freestyle, and folk style.
What do you enjoy about the sport?
I like how it's an individual sport and a team sport. It's individual because if you lose, you can't blame anyone else but yourself, and that just makes you work harder. And the team builds you up and doesn't let you down. It's more of a family, not a team.
You guys spend a lot of time. You get real close. You have to be to do what you do.
Yeah, we get really close. They're all brothers to me. They're my family.
Riker, anything, let's talk about the team and this weekend at the Grace Duels. Do you remember going to that last year?
Yes, I do. I remember.
With a smile, you remember. So what specifically, what do you remember?
I remember watching Corgan, and I remember losing my first match, and that was kind of like an eye-opener for me.
So going in with better or higher expectations for yourself this weekend?
Yes, I'm hoping.
And what about for the team? By duels, does that mean like Rich wrestles Grace, and then Rich wrestles like team versus team duels?
Yeah, so it's a dual-styled tournament, so we'll wrestle Grace first, most likely. That's what happened last year. Then if we win or lose that duel, we'll move on to another team.
Do you like that format better than a state tournament style format?
Yeah, it runs smoother because you can watch your whole team wrestle, and you're not scattered around. You're all in one place, one mat at one time.
Everybody cheering for you, you cheering for everybody else.
Yeah, that's really nice. It helps a lot.
Anything else we should touch on about Rich Rebel Wrestling?
No, that's all.
You guys feeling pretty good as a team? Have you set goals?
Yeah, we've been working really hard these last 4 weeks, and we're looking forward to this first tournament.
What did Thanksgiving look like for a 152-pounder who just put on 30 pounds and wants to keep himself at about 152?
Well, I didn't really do much. I just spent time with my family. Instead of turkey and stuffing and all that, we had steak wrapped in bacon.
You weren't too worried about putting on weight?
No, I was not.
That sounds delicious. Riker Conk, a sophomore at Rich High School. Thanks so much for your time, Riker. Good luck this weekend at the Grace Duels and throughout the rest of the wrestling season.
Thank you.
Back on the post-game show, and had a chance to hear from Riker Conk of the Rich Rebel Wrestling Team. We'll take one more quick break and be back to wrap this thing up. Again, a final score, 57-54. Rebels win in overtime over the Bears of Bear Lake on the Wildlife at mylocalradio.com.
When shopping for a vehicle, it's important to have a good selection of new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from. It's also important to have a knowledgeable salesperson that listens, a finance team that helps you get the payment that matches your pocketbook, and a smart office staff that makes sure all the paperwork is done right. You can always rest assured knowing that our whole team is working for you. Auto Farm Chevrolet. Stop in today. We're a community-driven dealer.
Light up your world with a custom-built LED sign from Rocky Mountain Sign in Evanston. It's a proven fact that signage that lights up creates more attention. So light it up and then add text, images, and video, and your sign becomes even more powerful. Start sharing your advertising messages and information with your customers today. The team at Rocky Mountain Sign provides all types of quality signage that is custom-built and maintained. Call today for a free quote. Rocky Mountain Sign, 307-789-5202. Rocky Mountain Sign, serving customers in Wyoming, Utah, and Idaho.
Back on the post-game show, 57-54. The Rebels win on the Station on Main scoreboard in overtime. Rebels finished just 19 of 32 from the free throw line, 59%. That was after a 70% clip through the first two quarters, but they hit just enough to win. And I got to be honest, Rob pointed this out to me. Rob Leifson said, man, if Bear Lake had just hit one of those three-point attempts at any point in the game, it would have been a different ball game, but they just couldn't get one of those threes to go. Jimmy Lloyd had one just before the buzzer and missed it. McKenna Stacy pulled down the rebound and finished with 21 points in the game to lead all scorers. Haley Humphreys finished with 19 to lead the Bears. Rebels also got 14 points from Allie Wallenton, 8 from J.C. Cornea. Taylor McKee had 7. 5 from Sage Tingy, and Sydney Hatch finished with 2. And a big 2 points, though, those were in overtime. Hatch with the offensive board and the putback for the bucket. And that essentially was the difference in the ball game, or at least part of the difference in the win for Rich. To run down the scoring for Bear Lake, Haley Humphreys, 19. Kalisha Parker in limited action tonight because of foul trouble. In fact, she fouled out with 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter, finished with 14 points, second leading scorer on the team. And then Chelsea Gunderson, Jimmy Lloyd, 6 points apiece. Josie Kelsey had 5, and McKady Smith off the bench, 4 points. Rebels had 2 players foul out as well. Allie Wallenton with a minute and a half left in the overtime, finished with 14 points. And J.C. Cornea fouled out with 23 seconds, 23.8 seconds left in overtime as well. Let me just run down a couple more stats for you. Bear Lake finishes 18 of 31 from the free throw line. That's 58%. And that was a far cry from what they did in the first half. 5 of 16 in the first half. They shoot 12 of 13 in the second half and overtime. Boy, impressive free throw shooting down the stretch from Bear Lake, but it wasn't just not quite enough. Bears finished 38% from the floor. Rebels just 33% from the floor, but did just enough to win. Rich was out-rebounded 43-38, but took care of the ball a bit better. I had Bear Lake with, 6 plus 5 is 11, 14, 15, 16 turnovers, and Rich with 11, and that makes a difference. That makes a big difference. Taking care of the basketball, that's the golden rule. One of our Lazy BT Ranch or Lazy BT brand keys of the game. All right, let's look ahead at what's coming up next week in Rich County sports and activities, and we start with Monday, Taylor Payne presentation at Rich High School, 11:45 a.m. Wednesday, Utah Shakespeare Festival is in town at the Rich High Auditorium at 1:15, performing Every Brilliant Thing. Thursday, Rebel freshmen and boys and girls basketball get back in action, hosting USDB, 5 p.m. for the girls, 6:30 p.m. for the boys. That's in the auxiliary gym, with Rich Rebel and Rich Middle School Wrestling hosting Big Piney, the middle school at 6, the varsity at 7 o'clock. And we'll broadcast that wrestling match this coming Thursday, December 12th, from right here at Rich High School, as the Rebels host Big Piney. Our pregame coverage, or pre-match, pre-duel coverage will start about 10 minutes to 7, 6:45. We'll go with that. Then Friday, middle school girls play host to Cokeville. 10 a.m. games begin. Rich Rebel girls basketball team is at Lyman with the freshmen at 10, JV at 11:30, varsity at 1 o'clock. Our pregame starts at 12:30. Later that day, the Rebel wrestling team, the wrestling team plays competes at Marsh Valley Tournament. That's Friday and Saturday, with matches beginning at 3 p.m. Friday and 9 a.m. Saturday. Also, Rebel boys basketball versus Wayne next Friday night at the Sevier Valley Center in Richfield in the Central Utah Boys Preview. 8:30 p.m. tip-off. Our pregame starts at 8. So we'll have double coverage of the girls and boys next Friday. The girls at Lyman, pregame at 12:30. The boys down against Wayne with a pregame at 8 o'clock. Then next Saturday, as I mentioned, the Rebel wrestling team at the Marsh Valley Tournament. And Rich Middle School Wrestling is at Big Piney beginning at 10 a.m. The middle school girls basketball team competes at the North Regional Tournament. That's in Pinedale. And also the Rebel boys basketball team takes on the T-Birds from Paiute at the Sevier Valley Center in Richfield. And our pregame will start Saturday at 2:30. That'll put me just not quite enough time to make it up to Altamont for the girls' game against the Longhorns, with freshmen at 4, JV at 5:30, varsity at 7 o'clock. That takes us through the end of next week and wraps up our roundup calendar. Again, a final on the station on main scoreboard, 57-54. The Rebels win in overtime over the Bear Lake Bears. Join us when we broadcast Rebel Wrestling Thursday night from right here at Rich High School. Rich hosting Big Piney for the duel, with our pregame coverage or pre-match coverage beginning at 6:45. Until then, go Rebels. For tonight's videographer, Rob Leifson, our producer, Alyssa McDaniel, back in the studio, I'm Ryan Steineckert. We'll talk with you again soon.
You've been tuned in to Rich High School basketball on Rebel Radio, KADQ-FM 98.3 with live video online at mylocalradio.com. Today's broadcast has been brought to you by these Rebel supporting businesses and individuals. Evanston Regional Hospital, Plains Tire of Evanston, by Westar Printing and Rocky Mountain Sign, Cash Honda Yamaha in Logan, The Store, by the Come On In of Casper, Auto Farm Chevrolet, the Bear Lake Convention and Visitors Bureau, and by mylocalradio.com. The proceeding has been a wholly owned production of mylocalradio.com and Cook Brothers Broadcasting, no portion of which may be used or rebroadcast without the expressed written consent of Old West Media. Our executive producer is Val Cook. We thank our office manager, Kayleen Anderson, and our sales manager, Julie Burley, along with Evanston's Elin Olive, the Bridger Valley's Jake Hibbard, and production group Preston Bush, AJ Lamb, and Alyssa McDaniel. Biggest thanks to all of our sponsors and to you for tuning in. We invite you to visit mylocalradio.com for archived games and past interviews with Rebel players and coaches. And like mylocalradio.com on Facebook to stay up to date with game broadcasts. Thank you for joining us on this presentation of Rich Rebel Basketball on KADQ-FM 98.3 and online at mylocalradio.com. Until next time.